standard chemist. I formulated your toothpaste. Then they came, and everything changed for all of us. First, we sent out our bravest, most confident, most handsome diplomat to meet with them. It didn't go well. They call Earth Region 72. They want to capture us, enslave us, and take our planet. But if we have anything to say about it, our region will remain free.
They're the best. They're the best. Come on, man.
They released Monster O.
They're here already. You're next. You're next. You're next.
Oh, and we are live with our Halloween 2018 discussion show.
Yeah, let's just do this.
And came out feeling like we liked it.
Slit her throat or something and raise the stakes.
If the whole plot was to get Michael
With
there,
Lori
he did
being
nothing
like
to make
the
that
Loomis,
happen.
and then you had Sartain in there.
Halloween
It was a
six.
little bit
So
dark.
bad.
There's a couple things that come off the top of my head. I don't want to steal
Not
it.
because I think it's all going to be good.
That's
That he
why
really
I
enjoyed it.
The balance in the force is off. I'm not thinking of it. All right, guys. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks to all you guys for joining me tonight. Hope you guys out there all have a great, safe, happy, healthy, awesome, horror-filled Halloween return. Fate has brought us to this place. As with all things, there is an end, and this may indeed be the end of Region Free. But before we get things started here, if you're a fan of the show and you want to support it a little bit more in exchange for some exclusive content, follow the link in the description and join our Patreon today. All right, so we are talking Halloween kills tonight. It's going to get heated. I should have gotten my Bucky helmet because I'm going to need it before the night's through, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm going to start bringing some folks on. Let's get the ball rolling here. We've got a lot of people in the, got a lot of people watching, and we've got a lot of people in the chat. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. You're in store for a treat. If you thought Halloween Kills was violent and gory and graphic, you ain't seen nothing yet. So I'm going to bring on the crew. We've got a full house here as well. First up, I'm bringing on the birthday boy himself. I believe he just turned 27. I'm talking about the legendary B-Movie Mike. What's up, Mike?
I just got one thing to say. Evil dies tonight.
Oh my God. Good. Let's get that mantra going. Let's get that mantra going. How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good, man. Yeah, it's my birthday. I'm slightly older than 27. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm actually 53, which is great. Man, I'm loving it because it's like the older I get, the farther I get away from giving a shit about stuff like this. So it's like I can see it's the forest for the trees. I can see the entire forest now. And I was talking in the chat about the slap fight on Twitter. I've not been involved because why would I? But it's fun. It's just to watch people. It's just been crazy, and I've been enjoying every minute of it. So I'm looking forward to the show tonight, and thank you for a happy birthday. I appreciate it.
I'm glad you had it. Did you do anything special for your birthday?
I just went to the drive-in last night, saw the movie, got some pizza today, and just been chilling out.
That sounds like a good birthday to me.
Us old folks, that's about all we can handle now.
I mean, I'm getting up there myself. And once it hits about 8 p.m., I'm like, oh, is it time? I'm let's go to bed. I'm done.
I'm falling asleep in the chair, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Got my Neosporin, on the everything that's aching, and then to sleep in the recliner. But always good to see you, Mike. Also joining me tonight. Holy crap, we've got a special guest here. We've actually got someone from the film is here, I guess, to defend the movie. I don't know. Jamie Lee Curtis is here. Jamie Lee, how's it going?
We fight. We always fight. Evil dies tonight.
All right. I know you've been very busy, Ms. Curtis, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your very busy schedule to hang out with us tonight, talk about the movie.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. I know it's a little too soon, but why not? I figured, hey, he didn't have anything to do either, so he decided to join me. We're very excited to be here. Everyone better love it. They all better love it.
Michael looks very relaxed. How many of those morphine shots did you bring with you?
Sauvignon Blanc. I know, he opted for the wine. I said this will make the pain go away, but he,
Well, he is in his 60s, and if you saw the movie, he had the big night.
He did.
So he probably wore out.
That's a little much.
Yeah, geez, that was a long
Halloween
night
kills, and now Michael naps. That's how it works. Speaking from an old man's perspective, I understand.
Well, they're talking about ends is going to be years ahead because Michael's got to rest after that, and that was a long night for him, So, but good to see you, Miss Curtis. I'm sure you'll be chiming in a lot during the course of this night, but good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Lots to say, like 7 pages. Stand by.
Wow, jeez. All right, get ready. It's gonna be one of those wild nights. Also joining me tonight, Monty. What's up, Monty?
You talking to me, Sheriff? I thought you. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong movie. Evil Dies Tonight. What is going on, everybody? How are you, Mr. Piz?
Good, man. Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm happy to be back. Everybody, my first show was Halloween 2018, Sausage Factory. So I'm back for the second one. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You've come full circle.
Right. I'm ready to get started. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, let's do it, man. Good to have you here. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Also joining me tonight from the Sheebie Jeebies YouTube channel, as well as the Visited by Voices One channel, Sam. How's it going, Sam?
Hey, Piz. Aku wa konya shinu. Evil dies tonight.
Oh.
Nice. I like that. Very nice.
Do what I can.
I'm glad that you took time away from Twitter, where you've been just an absolute Karen for the past few days, to be here with us tonight.
And at the oh wait, I shouldn't spoil it. Never mind. Yeah, I was about to drop that spoiler. It's not even 10 minutes into this show.
Drop it in Cantonese or whatever that language was that you used.
Oh no. I can't translate that quickly enough. But I am very excited to talk about Halloween Kills, even though I've been talking about Halloween Kills since I saw it on Saturday, and I'm exhausted.
I am too. After tonight, I don't plan on talking about Halloween Kills again, probably ever.
Good policy.
Yeah. But glad to have you with us again tonight, Sam. Always a pleasure. Also joining us tonight from New York City. He tried to warn everybody. They're here. They're already here, but no one would listen. Stone Gaspin. What's up, Stone?
What's up, guys? Live from New York City, it's Stone Gasman, and I came here because I heard the Halloween franchise is going to die tonight, and I'm ready to see it burn, baby.
Man, I like that intensity, Stone. I like that intensity. How you doing, man? You doing good?
I've been all right. I've been under the weather for the past 24 hours. I'm finally getting out of it, body aches. I think it's just the change of weather. I'm not really sure, but at any rate, I've watched Halloween Kills 3 times over the weekend, and I'm more than ready to hear everybody's thoughts and dump mine. So let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. That sounds good to me. Also with me tonight, Jamie. Oh God. Oh, Jamie.
Oh.
Evil dies tonight.
Damn, Jamie's.
Let's go. I got my peacemaker. Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
I like a woman who carries a big stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is I am tonight's peacemaker. So anybody gets too rowdy with each other, I'm going to be swinging my bat. So let's all be civil and nice to each other tonight.
That bat's going to be broken in about 2 minutes. It's not going to last long.
I figured.
Yeah. Have a very hard skull.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But good to have you back with us, Jamie. It's been a few weeks, I do believe.
Yes, it's been since July, actually. So it's been a while.
Jeez, it has been a while. Damn.
Yeah, I've just been I've been kind of laying low and trying to get myself, back to health and spending a lot of time outside and a lot of taking pictures and taking silly little nature videos, which I'm sure nobody cares about, but I like them. So I do them for myself. So,
yeah.
But yep, that's what I've been up to. And I'm glad to be back.
Good. We're glad to have you back.
Thanks.
Also joining me tonight, Lorne. What's going on, man?
The man.
I'm supposed to say something. Let me consult the script. Oh, it's just Evil Dies Tonight. I am so happy this movie is out. You have no idea, because we can finally get this behind us. So I don't need to talk about this thing ever again. That said, tomorrow, watch the autopsy video on my channel.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Autopsy video coming up.
It's a miserable experience. You'll love it.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot freaking wait. And we actually had one other person, but they just dropped out.
Quitter.
Oh, wait, here. I think they're back. Hold on. Let's see if they connect. Okay, here we go. Also with me tonight from the Flesh Wound Features YouTube channel, it's Dan Shine. What's up, Dan?
What's up, guys? Am I coming through okay?
You're coming through okay. I think you're coming through fine.
Okay, I came prepared tonight. Evil dies tonight. I want to say in advance, Jason Bloom tried to hack my internet today, so I'm doing this on an iPhone, but it didn't work. So it's important for me to get this out there. I respect all opinions before we go into this show, except any of you jabronis that actually like this piece of shit. So I want to get that.
Words.
Already coming in. Already coming in hot. Jeez, Pete. Oh, goodness. Well, before we start brawling, I think we do need to mention how Halloween Kills is the first horror movie in a very long time that has elicited such passionate reactions from genre fans. It's the last horror movie that I recall that's actually gotten the entire community talking about it, to the point where, like I said, honestly, I'm so burnt on Halloween Kills. I don't want to talk about Halloween Kills. After tonight, no more Halloween Kills for me for a long time. Hold on. We do have somebody else that just joined. Let me rotate somebody out and bring them on. Hold on one second here. What's up, Christian? How you doing, man?
The man.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm all right. Evil's trying to die tonight, but other than that, you know what I mean?
Don't you hate it when evil tries to die tonight?
I hate it. I hate it. And then when I got home, my wife tried to hit me with a damn iron. What the hell was that all about? What the hell is going on here?
I think that may be the most effective weapon against Michael Myers.
Seemed like a good idea at the time, right?
Yeah.
I told you, Piz, the way I got it. It's what she's supposed to do is she's supposed to swing it above her head like the good locust in The Exorcist 2.
Now, if there was a shot of her actually doing that,
oh, that'd be great.
I don't know if I could have recovered.
Especially if it bounced off the skulls of several of her friends as it went around.
Well, they made 1,000 mistakes as it is. They might as well make one more.
So what I'm going to do here, since I'm going to try and referee this thing, and it's going to be very difficult, I'm going to put myself right in the middle of everybody. And what I want to do here before things devolve into just absolute chaos and anarchy is I'd like to go around the horn and I want to hear everybody's just thoughts on the film. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Why'd you like it? Why'd you dislike it? Couple of minutes, and then we'll get the, I feel like I'm going to be like a Gallagher show. I need to pull up the tarp so don't get blood on me. But Sam, what were your thoughts on Halloween Kills?
I'll make it short as possible. I don't want to get too much in the details because I know we're going to get stuck in the weeds later. So this is a pretty good Jason movie. This is not a Halloween movie, but I had fun with it. And I probably liked it better than 2018 because there's less Laurie Strode.
Ooh.
That's it. That's all I got right now.
Ooh. Okay. Cool. Very cool. All right. I think everybody, I'm going to hold off on B Movie Mike for a minute because everybody wants to know B Movie Mike's take on this. So I'm going to skip Mike for a moment. We'll come back to Mike. Laurie Strode, what were your thoughts on Halloween on your own film?
I loved it. It was fantastic. Okay, so here's the thing, you guys. I feel like this movie, whatever camp you're in on this movie, people either seem to love it or hate it. And to me, that at least says they did something. Because how many movies have we all watched where you don't even remember it, you don't care, you kind of forget about it, it's forgettable. So at least it did make some sort of impact. I will say that. Overall, because I have like 17 pages of notes, like double-sided, you guys. I wrote them. Like that's when you know it's real. I liked it, and kind of like Sam said, in a different sense, I liked it. I wanted to love it, but I did not love it. So that's where we're at, and I kind of see both sides of the coin on this one. So I will be kind of swinging like a pendulum, I guess, on this one, because like I said, I liked it, but I wanted to love it. And I have many, many notes.
That's understandable. Very, very understandable. I tell you what, I'm going to bring in, let me recycle. Who am I going to move out here? Lori, I'm going to put you in timeout for just a minute. Dan, what were your thoughts on Halloween Kills? And there you go.
Those were the thoughts.
Those were his thoughts. What'd you think about Halloween Kills? Peace out. Just say it. I'm out. That's it. Okay, so we'll come back to Dan when he comes back shortly. Monty, your thoughts on Halloween Kills?
As a Halloween purist who saw the original movie in the 80s on my black and white TV in my room and seeing them in order before Halloween 4 came out, Halloween 218 was okay, but I did not care about seeing this film at all. That being said, I was entertained. I liked it. Did I think it was good? Not necessarily, but I had more fun with it more than I did with 218. It was brainless fun, and I enjoyed it from that perspective. As a Halloween purist, maybe not so much.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, now Dan is back. Hold on. We got Dan back. Dan, your thoughts on Halloween Kills?
Hopefully I'm coming through okay, guys. I am having internet issues.
Coming through loud and clear.
Awesome. So I don't know how, if this movie were a horse, I take it out back and shoot it twice just to make sure.
Whoa!
Everything is wrong with this movie from top to bottom. It felt, I mean, a Halloween movie, we should have higher standards. This was something you could do on Mystery Science Theater. The dialogue from beginning to end was atrocious. The humor didn't even work. I mean, Big John, Little John, some people thought that was funny. I don't get it. It's a Hatchet film. It's a Hatchet sequel, and it's not even a good Hatchet sequel. I just hate this movie so much with every fiber of my being. And hopefully you're all hearing me okay, because I did want to express that in case the internet goes out. No, nothing. I have nothing good to say about this. Busta Rhymes could have ridden in on a white horse and skull-fucked Michael to death at the end, and it couldn't get any worse. I hate everything about it.
I would have loved that.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I do want to mention that we have got a Sausage Factory OG in the chat tonight. Our old pal Barry from Endurance Productions. How you doing, man? I hope you're doing well. Foretelling the future, Big John and Little John costumes will take Spirit Halloween by force. I agree. Those will be hot costumes this year. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But Barry, I hope you're doing well, man. And look, you're always welcome on the show. Always welcome on the show.
And he was an extra in the hospital scene, but I did not see him. I couldn't find him. I was looking for him. Where's my buddy B Jr.? But I didn't get a chance to see him.
Yeah, I was
bummed about that.
Yeah. But there's a lot of deleted scenes that are going to be on the Blu-ray. Maybe we'll see Barry back there lingering in the background with his hospital robe on and a cold one in his hand. You never know. So. All right, hold on. Did you get it all off your chest, Dan? Are you good?
I'm good for now. I think I purged, and I'll probably finish this by the end of the night. But
okay,
yeah, so far.
Okay, so far so good. Okay, cool. Stone, what were your thoughts on Halloween Kills?
Well, I wasn't there for the Halloween 2018 discussion, probably because I am not really a fan of the franchise, and I saw 2018 a little late. I waited about a week to see it. Aside from the music, I didn't really like it. And I was thinking with Halloween Kills, I'm just hoping that the fact that 2018 didn't do anything for me at all, this better do something for me. Well, I never saw the trailer because I don't watch trailers anymore. I just don't trust them. And I watched it with a completely open mind. In short, and just to let the next person get their 2 cents out. In short, I had fun in the moment while watching it, and at the same time, on multiple viewings, I started shaking my head more and more. The fact that I don't have a special love for the franchise as I do other horror franchises means that certain things that would have, say, pissed off purists didn't really upset me that much. And yet at the same time, at the end of it, I'm like, do I really want to continue with this trilogy? Do I really want to watch Halloween Ends after all this? But anyway, I will end it there for now and save the rest for later.
Okay, very cool. Lauren, your thoughts on Halloween Kills?
The original Halloween is such a DNA film for me, right? It's not one of my absolute favorite films of all time, but it's a film that's been with me my whole life and has meant a whole lot to me. I remember when I saw it on its broadcast premiere for television, and I was able to see that on the color screen, the big one downstairs. And it was a terrifying movie for young Lauren. And it was one of those experiences that made me really sit up and say, I was really uncomfortable and scared, and I want to make other people do that. I want other people to experience that. It was really a powerful film. Now, there's other films that did as well and even more of a profound effect on me, but this was a cornerstone film. So I've always been cheering for the Halloween franchise, at least until a few years ago. Really starting with Resurrection, a film that I was excited for before it came out, but the film really hurt me in theaters. I think it hurt a lot of people. I think over time we've become more tempered with it. But the Rob Zombie films were really bad theatrical experiences for me. 2018, as I'm sure everyone knows, was a really bad experience. So by the time I started getting information on this film, I was already pretty jaded, horrifically, actually. And I started hearing people talk about what their expectations for this film was, and I started getting actually worried that people's expectations were really outsized to the movie they were going to get. And I tried to be that warning bell for the last 2 years. I'm glad that some people like it. Like Dave out there in the chat, you're wondering why people are going to bash the movie. I'm not here to bash the movie. I don't like the movie, but I'm not here to bash the movie. It is what it is. If it gives joy to someone else, then it's a great thing. That doesn't mean I don't get to have an opinion, and we can't discuss what I feel are serious shortcomings. What I would say is this movie is not the worst in the franchise. But you know what? It's getting easier and easier as the years go by to say that because they keep making bad movies. There's now more films in this franchise that I dislike than like. That's not a good batting average. And unfortunately, Halloween Kills kind of doubled down on all the stuff that has put me off this series. And we'll get into specifics as we go along. But no, I've known too much about this film for a long time. I was hoping in context it would be better than the sum of its parts on the page. It wasn't.
Okay. Let's see. Christian, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I sold the 15 disc set. I sold the 4Ks. This is the only Halloween film I need. I mean, I'm good. No, for real. I legitimately, I like the gore. I'm a gore whore, so like I loved it when Michael stabbed that old man like 7 times. I want him to go more. I would have extended that way longer. I actually think they were short on that note. But for real though, I do like the gore a lot, but the dialogue was my biggest thing. Maybe one day I'll see this as a bad movie, like a bad funny movie where it's like I can watch this so everybody can die and I can laugh at it. I'm just not there yet, and ultimately this makes me a bigger fan of H2O more than anything because I think that film got it right for a reboot. So that's where I'm at right now. But I like it better than 18 because kind of like Sam, again, I wanted less Laurie Strode in this movie because they've already done that. We've already seen her come back. And again, I like H2O a lot. So I got my fix there. I wanted something else. I wanted that Halloween's Return movie that was supposed to come out about 5 years ago where he was in Death Row or something. I thought that sounded cool. Why can't we do that? But it's not what we got. And, I can watch it, but it's certainly not my favorite. Certainly not my favorite Halloween movie.
Okay.
Pretty middle of the road for me.
I've lost track of who I've gotten here. Jamie.
I had a blast. I really did. I think I sat there with a smile on my face the entire time. I was squirming in my chair, and if I'm squirming in my chair, I'm having fun. There's problems. The dialogue is awful. I mean, terrible. Some of the lines in there when Sheriff Brackett says, you're entitled to one good scare. I just about jumped out of my seat because I was like, what? There was a lot of lines like that, and I really did have fun with it. When I came out of there, I was jazzed up and excited, and I thought it had great kills. And yeah, there's a lot of problems. Mostly I had trouble with dialogue issues. Also, the cinematography was slightly too dark, I thought, but that's just my personal preference. I prefer it a little bit lighter. But there were some shots in there that blew me away. So there was some good in it. And maybe the storyline's not so great, but we'll get into that, I'm sure, later on. I have some theories about, why the movie is action for beginning to end and stuff like that. So, but I really did enjoy it. I mean, it's not perfect, but I had fun. And I think that's why I go to movies, is to have fun. It takes me on a ride. So I felt like this one did take me on a ride. So.
Yeah. Cool.
I liked it.
Cool. My review is out there. I posted my review, I think, on Saturday, and my feelings were, I really liked I liked the whole Michael emerging from the burning house and wiping out the fire team. I liked that. I thought that was cool. But then quickly it really just evolved into what I thought was just a bad movie, but a movie that I couldn't. There were moments, there were stretches where I got into it on that bad movie level where I was just kind of laughing, like this is ridiculous and over the top and just silly, and I'm having fun with it. And then it's like it went over the top, and like I couldn't take any of it seriously. And there were moments, there's parts of the movie you're not supposed to take seriously, but then there are moments you are supposed to take seriously, and I couldn't take them seriously at all. And I've seen a lot of people go, well, it's a slasher movie, of course the dialogue sucks. A dialogue in every slasher movie sucks. Maybe, but this is bad dialogue on an entirely new level. This is really, really bad dialogue. And yeah, so it's hard to even call this a Halloween movie because, like I said, it's so antithetical to everything that was Halloween, as far as how Michael is portrayed and just the overall storytelling. It wasn't scary. It wasn't suspenseful. Michael, I thought, was very intimidating. James Jude Courtney's the best thing about this new series. James Jude Courtney's the best thing. If Michael's not on the screen, it sucks. Period. If Michael's not on the screen, it sucks. So that's my opinion. Roland six here. Let's start here. Roland 666 wants to know about the Loomis lookalike. What did y'all think about the Loomis lookalike? I actually thought it was CGI. I thought it was a CGI face because it just looked it looked off to me, honestly. But it was just a guy that they made up to look like Loomis, and I thought they did a pretty good job, except for the voice and the dialogue. But I was okay. I mean, I'm just glad they didn't do something dumb with Loomis, like, Michael kills him at the beginning of the movie or something like that. I'm just glad they didn't disrespect the character of Loomis here.
Piz, we didn't get Mike's take.
Yeah,
which is like the money shot of that round.
Oh shit! Yeah,
but then I want to take you to task for what you just said.
Mike, I completely apologize. You should have screamed at me. I purposefully saved you for last, and then I completely forgot. I apologize.
Now he's extra pissed off.
Now I've made Mike extra pissed off.
Wind up the back.
Mike, your thoughts on Halloween Kills, and you know what, Mike?
Full screen his ass.
You've got
Oh, well, I agree with a little bit of what everybody said. But you have to understand that 2018 was such a bad experience for me that I don't think it could ever get that low again. So my expectations were subterranean, and it didn't disappoint on that level. I went to the drive-in. The drive-in was all decked out with Halloween decorations, and it was a great experience overall. And I saw a sequel to a movie from 2018 that really surprised me, and I kind of enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And the other film I saw was Halloween Kills. It was gloriously bad to the point where I'm going to have to say it reached the level of so bad it's good. I can't believe it, but I had a great time making fun of it. I had a great time enjoying parts of it. I mean, we got Michael Myers, we got Jason Voorhees, and we got John Wick.
Thank you. 100%
And
John
it was
Wick.
just amazing how, and the tonal shifts. Oh my God. It's like, just dramatic, and then a laugh, and then a brutal kill, and then more drama, and then a laugh. And then it's just, to say it was a roller coaster, that's a true statement. It was a roller coaster going off the rails that might kill you at any moment. But I can't say I didn't have a good time watching it. And for everybody that likes it and for some reason has made it part of their, I don't know, self-opinion, it's cool. Like it. love it. I don't care. I mean, and the people that hate it, that's cool too. I understand, both sides really. I'm just kind of in the middle, like, okay, I guess that was. I mean, look, we're 12 films into a 43-year-old, franchise. I'm not expecting, Citizen Kane here. And yeah, I know those people. Well, this movie sucked and that movie sucked, and we've gone into Disney Wars kind of territory with, if you don't like this movie, you're a bad person and you hate puppies. And whoa. The Twitter slap fight's been amazing. It's been hilarious, and I've just been like an observer, just sit back watching, and I see people's points, but man, I mean, to me, between the last film and this film, reality, the horrors of reality have surpassed anything a movie could ever give me. So I'm just numb with all the things that have been going on in the world. I agree. Like I said, I agree with what everybody said. I don't expect great dialogue, but when you're watching a movie that's sold to you as a superior product, but yet it makes all the same mistakes as a movie that would be, just thrown out there for whatever reason. Man, I don't know. We'll get into it, I'm sure. I have a lot to say about certain parts of it, but overall, maybe I'm just numb, but I had a decent time with it. I liked it better than 2018. I never planned to revisit 2018. I have seen it twice, but for a lark, I might actually revisit this sometime. I don't know. It sounds kind of weird, but it is just so batshit crazy that it's like, wow, did I just see that? Oh, okay. That's what they're calling Halloween now. Because like Lauren, the original for me is like a Mount Rushmore film. It's a classic. I mean, it's Hitchcockian. It's a suspense thriller. It's not a gore fest. I don't know when Halloween turned into a gore fest or expected to be a gore fest. You mentioned the old guy when Michael was sticking like every knife in the kitchen in his back. I was just like, okay, why? It didn't seem in character at all, but hey, I get it. It's a generational thing. We got 3 generations of Halloween people now. We got the original stuff, we got the zombie guys and gals, and now we got the new stuff. So it's like X has theirs, the millennials has theirs, and then Z has theirs now. And they're all going to protect them because it's all part of who they are and the time period they grew up. I get it. I understand it. But to poor Busta Rhymes, man, can't the guy get a break? Why is everybody got to beat up on Busta for? Damn, poor guy. All he did was he was in a movie, and now his career's ruined. He can't do anything because everybody's always talking shit about Busta Rhymes. Man, lay off the brother, man. Busta's cool.
You know what's been funny, and I want to give a shout out to Nico for the $10 super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. He says, "P.S. Judy Greer forever." I like Judy Greer a lot too. I just wish she would have had a little more. I think she was one of the more likable characters in this movie.
Her best scene was the last one.
There was no likable characters in this film. But Piz, you said that you didn't think they disrespected Loomis. Having Loomis be willing to execute Michael while he's on the ground, I think that's disrespectful to Loomis.
He was going to take him out Soprano style.
I do not see that as the character from the first film at all.
Did he kill again? Did Michael kill again?
Well, that dialogue set me off because on the page, that dialogue set me off. Then when they actually was in the film, it was like a weird sort of deja vu that you didn't think was really going to be there.
That didn't bother me. That Loomis didn't bother me so much because I guess I just and also I didn't really have time to think about that because Hawkins swept in and saved him right after he just killed his partner, and then 2 seconds later his conscience comes back, or his conscience goes away, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll cover up my partner's death that I caused, sure." So I think I was already on to like, what the hell's that? Okay, go ahead, Susan.
You guys, I have to say this though. I didn't understand. Okay, first of all, though, Christopher Nelson with the Loomis effects, that was their construction foreman, Tom Jones Jr., that he turned into Loomis. I thought it was CGI, so I'm impressed. # impressed on that. But here's the thing. Logically to me, and you guys, please prove me wrong on this. So Loomis shoots him 6 times, right? And he still gets up and goes.
7.
And then now we're supposed to believe that Hawkins prevented the true annihilation of Michael Myers with 1 bullet when he just shot him 6 times, because we are supposed to be flashing right back to 78, which that's a whole nother topic to talk about. That I don't believe that they had a distinguishing effect to make us feel like we were in 78 like they should have, but whatever. I digress. Why would this one bullet from Loomis have offed him for sure, and now it's all Hawkins' fault, or Laurie's fault, or whoever the hell you want to say, okay, when Loomis just shot him 6 times or 7 or whatever. Okay?
Michael is like a zombie. The only way to kill him is to put one in
What
in
difference
the
would
brain
one
pan.
more bullet make? That whole
It's a silver bullet. He's a werewolf.
That whole premise made me so angry because
There
I'm like,
is-
but Loomis just shot him already 6 times. What
There's a
difference would one more
drinking
make?
game and a half in how many times Hawkins has shot at and missed Michael Myers in these movies.
Yeah. Hawkins don't spend a lot of time at the range. Never has.
Obviously.
Piz, I just want to know what the L rods were doing that night in this alternate timeline.
Oh, that's a good
Did
man. Why
he get
didn't
to eat a sandwich? He got to eat a sandwich.
There should have been a shot of Elrod eating a sandwich, just one bite. I would have been like, I love this movie now.
He got
I
a
think
So
sandwich.
you guys think the other couple was supposed to be the L rods?
We got that nod, right?
That's what
They
I
were
thought.
watching
I
Night of the
thought-
Living
You
Dead,
don't replace
right?
those
Thank
L
you.
rods, those classic
Right,
L rods.
but I felt like they were trying to nod to the L rods with the couple in the very beginning. What was her name? Sandra? Was it Sandra? And they never said his name. I don't
Forgettable
think.
man
Oh, yeah,
and forgettable woman is their name.
What I really wanted was an
She
after
did
credit sequence of
great. I
a
would
living
like to
Ben
see her
Tramer.
more.
I know. I kept wanting a Ben Tramer scene to happen. Even at the very end, I was, because, they pull out on that shot with Karen. I'm like, oh, please, Ben Tramer. Please, Ben Tramer. Nothing.
No, instead you get more Silver Shamrock kids.
Now, did you guys catch that that was the Fun House they were watching, right? Wasn't that Toby Hooper's The Fun House they were
I
watching
think
in
it
one of those?
was.
Yeah, I think that was Toby Hooper's The Fun House that they were watching there. I was like, okay, that's a nice little nod to get people like myself. Like, oh, that's great.
Hey, look, it's a better movie.
I know.
They just have all those flashbacks to 78. I kept wanting to be back in the original movie. It was like that opening credit sequence took like a good 10 minutes or so where we're just watching Hawkins and, kill his partner, basically. I just wanted to be watching the original Halloween.
Who did they think they needed to flash back to the original? Like, was anyone not going to remember the original that was showing up for this thing?
Well, that's.
Was
I mean,
they had more so changing the story.
I think they kind of had to rewrite and change the story, and yeah.
The rumor was
No, but
they
it's
were
like-
going to do that in the last film, but Carpenter told them not to, so they saved it for this one.
But did you guys hear about Tony Moran? Tony Moran saying that they asked him to use that, and he said he wanted to be paid, and they said no, and X, Y, and Z, and then they paid him. But if you notice, they cut it off right before the actual shot in 78, where you really see his face. And I feel like he's lying, and that's calculated. And come for me, I don't care. Send me all the hate in the chat, but I truly believe that. I'm sorry, I had to get that out real quick. Sorry.
I want to get your all's thoughts on one of the big sticking points of this movie is the violence, the brutality, and the gore. Was it too much for you? Could you, Jamie? What did you think about the gore and the brutality of the film? Did it feel like a Halloween to you? Were you
No.
feeling it, or okay?
It did not feel like a Halloween to me. And that's fine with me, because here's the thing. I'm not so invested in the old timeline that I'm not willing to give whatever new stuff they're trying to throw in a chance. And so I went in there with a completely open mind with no expectations. I did the same thing with 2018. I didn't like 2018 all that much. I had issues with, the character development and the dark tone of the color scheme, but other than that, I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it as much as I wanted to. This one I went in with less expectation than I did with 2018, so I actually feel like because I went in that way, I really enjoyed it a little bit more. There was something you were asking before about what was it? Oh, about never mind. Sorry.
It'll come back to you, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, Dan, your thoughts on the brutality and the gore?
Well, I have no issues with it being a body count film. I knew going in that that's what it would be. But look, Halloween 2 has a body count. It also has suspense, good acting, writing, etc. I know a lot of people have kind of forgiven this one because, like, the sick kills. That's not enough for me, unfortunately. Not for a Halloween film, because again, I can get sick kills from Victor Crowley. It's that alone just is not enough for me to kind of forgive this film for its many, many, many faults. Does it have some camp value? Maybe. But again, it's a Halloween film. I can't dismiss it because it has maybe some camp value because it's just so Manos level
Manos?
camp.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't know, but if people had fun with it, like seriously, I was joking at the beginning, obviously. That's awesome, guys, but I have to ask for from a Halloween film because this was just so bad.
Sam, your thoughts on the brutality and gore?
It was fine. Again, much like Dan, I need more from a Halloween movie. And some, like the beginning sequence with the firefighters, I felt like I was watching a John Wick sequence. And then, we've got a couple of kills that are so comical. It's like I felt like I was getting some real big, like, Jason Lives vibes off of them. Like, and I don't even think that this movie has that much camp value. Maybe if you let it sit and age and don't talk about it, please don't talk about it. But I didn't even really get the camp factor out of this. When Sandra got killed, it's like she just, like, cowered there and let Michael, like, stick a broken light bulb into her neck. It was like, that's it. There was like no thrusting or anything. Not even fight back. There's like, man, she talks a big game. And I really liked her as a character, but again, a lot of these kills just felt like rather needless. And I would have preferred, if you're going to have that level of gore, maybe build up your characters a little bit more, maybe build up the story a bit more. This definitely felt like we all knew it was going to be a filler movie. I don't think that's not a surprise, but this felt like The Last Jedi because it was just a bunch of scenes strung together, and I still don't remember anything that happened. So,
well, and yeah, Nico brings up an interesting point in the chat. He says, "How much do you stock up to? It's middle film itis." So I mean, I got that too. It felt like there was maybe 40 minutes of actual content, maybe, and the rest they just said, let's just gore it up, body count, gore, fan service, and let's end it.
Yeah, this basically was like they took the idea. It's like somebody was sitting there watching old Simpsons reruns, and that 22 short films about Springfield came up, and they're like, there we go, done and done. So it's just a bunch of scenes. It's not, there's like just either make two movies and make them count, or just what are we doing?
Right. Anybody else want to jump in on the brutality and the gore?
I was going to say real quick that the Last Jedi analogy is very apt because there have actually been people comparing this to Empire Strikes Back, which is like the most impossible connection I could ever make between two movies. I mean, yeah, they both exist. They are completely different galaxies. But anyway,
I think they just did that because it starts out with action, ends with action, just like Empire. It's a cliffhanger ending.
It's the bridge between the other two.
It's just like the middle chapter, just total mayhem. I mean, the title gives it away. Halloween Kills. That's what it's all about. It's just a body count. Yeah. I kind of felt like as much fan service as these two films do. I mean, they're supposed to erase everything from canon except the first film, but they do nothing but make references toward every film they've erased.
Right.
And I feel like that's their ode, like to Rob Zombie's Halloween, is the brutality of Michael Myers in these new films, because he does act way out of character for your standard first film, Michael, and he acts way more like Tyler Maine's version in the Rob Zombie films. I thought it was cartoonish in some ways. Kind of, hey, I'm not an anti-gore person. I love pieces. I love all the crazy gore flicks, but that's not what I watch Halloween for. There's no subtlety in this movie whatsoever, or the previous one. It's just, I don't know, splatter the screen with blood, and we'll call it a flick, I guess.
Yeah.
And you know, and again, all the fan service. It's like, if you're trying to make a new film, why are you constantly referencing films that you've erased? Why do I need to see the Halloween 3 references? Why do I need to see the Halloween 4 references and all these other references that aren't supposed to exist in this timeline anymore? I mean, you went to the trouble of changing the ending to the first film to erase all of that just to spend the entire runtime referencing those things. That's a head scratcher for me.
It's almost as if they're trolling the fans with those references.
Yeah.
If I took things
It really
personally,
does
I guess
feel
I could
like
see that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, one thing I want to say too is how, and I think we mentioned about how, and although I said I had fun with the film, it was because I didn't care. But in terms of it being cartoonish, in reference to the gore, Piz, that's kind of the same way I felt. Like, even so much as to when people die, it's almost like they have a goofy look on their face. With like, was it he got the guy in the back seat when he up through the chin and the eyeball? But it was almost kind of like a Looney Tune cartoon. So when he got it, it wasn't like it was. You could watch Halloween 4, right? And when he bashes the ambulance dude's head and the thumb goes through, or when he squashes Brady's neck, like, you feel pain, like you go like, damn, that hurts, like, ugh. But when you watch him kick the nurse and she shoots herself, and he stabs the guy through the chin in the backseat of the car, you're like, well, it looks funny. He doesn't look like he's really dying. Like, this shit just looks funny.
Man, that was one of those John Wick moments when he kicked the door and the chick shot herself in the face. I busted out laughing.
Great.
Was that supposed to be my reaction? Was busting out laughing? I mean,
that was how I reacted, Mike. I thought it was funny. Like, I was like, oh, that's great. But like, even I even go so far as to say the deaths in Curse of Michael Myers, or even people knock Rob Zombie's movies, but we can say in Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's, when he's bashing that stripper's head up against that mirror, I mean, nobody's laughing.
Right. No.
And I can comment on that. Here's the zombie fan coming in.
Yeah.
It's funny when Mike brought up the generational thing. I think that there is a subconscious kind of, I am a zombie generation kid. Those are my Halloween movies. I went to the theaters and saw those. I wonder if there is a subconscious of seeing this movie and saying this isn't my Halloween film. But I do think it's somewhat of a melting pot. Also, Paul Rudd, what does he fight Michael with a bat in Halloween 6? He fights with a bat, right? They give this kid a bat, and it's so funny. When I was watching, I've always been a protector of Paul Rudd because I love Halloween 6, but I don't think it deserves any award made out of gold. But when I was watching this film, I was thinking to myself, I'm going to protect you, Paul Rudd. You're still going to be my favorite Tommy Doyle. And when I left the theater watching the movie, in my head, I was talking to Paul Rudd. I was like, I don't need to protect you, buddy. I think you were the better Tommy Doyle, for God's sakes.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
No, Paul Rudd is just fine as Tommy Doyle.
They give him a baseball bat, just like Halloween 6. They have a mob, just like Halloween 4. The brutal Michael, Tyler Maine light, honestly. This movie's a melting pot. And I mean, in zombies films, nobody likes those except me and Jamie. I get that. But like, that film is purely one man's vision. This film does not feel like one man's vision. This is input from an entire table of people, it feels like.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with Piz from his review. I mean, they should keep Danny McBride away from the scripting process, as far away. Because his juvenile sense of humor is funny in a comedy, but it doesn't work in a Halloween film. And you can tell every single scene that was his brainchild. You could just go, oh, yeah, well, Danny McBride wrote that.
He put the iron in the girl's hand. There's no doubt in my mind. He put the iron in the girl's hand.
Well, the scenes are played with a wink. I think in the 218 film, was it the sheriff guy, the brother with the cowboy hat? What was it, the scene where he's talking to Will Patton, and he says something like, Michael Myers is back, and he goes, you want to cancel on Halloween? And he does this weird little grin while he's talking to him. And I never liked his character because of that, but that's how every performance is played in this film. Like, with a wink. It's not played straight or seriously.
It's like the Big John, Little John characters. I mean, it just they're living in the Myers house. They've renovated it. Their entire scene like it belongs in another movie.
Well, they're from a sketch TV show, right?
Well, the one guy is, he's
One
from
guy was,
Mad TV.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
But it's like Big John, Little John. Big John's got the little knife. Little John's got the bigger knife. It's just like, we get it. Ha ha ha! Wow.
Yeah, why? Why did we need that?
Because
I don't understand.
These films are these last two films are made for an audience. They are crafted with this imaginary checklist of what horror fans want from a Halloween film. But it's not based in any specific generation. It's based on purely what they think is going to make them money. That's why this game of, none of the earlier sequels exist. Oh, but we'll make constant reference to let you know that we love them, though. We love those movies. We just decided to erase them. But the problem is the pedigree of Halloween. That really is what this is always going to come back to, is that you have more than a generation. You're bridging on 50 years worth of fandom of a single film. Sequels come and go. People will all pick their favorite sequels. I don't think I've met very many people in my life that don't have a strong, passionate love for the original Halloween. As these films get further and further away from them, it gets harder. And we get more divided over these films. It's not the brutality, although I think brutality is not really Michael from the first film at all. I would argue that Michael belongs to an earlier class of villain than the slashers that came after him. He's not. He encounters plenty of people in the first film that he does not kill. Here, if you're inside a 50-yard radius, you are dog meat on the ground.
Unless you're a baby.
There's no elaborate kill in the original film, because an elaborate kill takes away from the character that you're removing from the play, right? Because you'll remember the effect, not the character. Hey, can anyone name give me the name of the character of the sleeping bag murder in New Blood? Nope, but you know the scene, right?
Yep.
So you have to watch it. And this film does it right now. We've all just watched it very recently. I guarantee in a month's time, you say, hey, who got killed with the fluorescent bulb? We're going to stretch for it. So that's why as a writer, you have to craft a film based on more than the immediate effect. And this film is all about the immediate effect. It's funny you mentioned it. Monty said sketch comedy. In my autopsy, I talk about the fact that this is designed like a sketch comedy show. It keeps diverting itself in these separate little cul-de-sac stories rather than tell a through-line story, because there's not enough story there. The story ultimately in this film is Michael walks across town
to his house.
That is the plot.
To his house.
Go home, man.
Everything else is a side story. So you could make that work if you did something really, really clever. Nothing really clever was being done here.
If I told you
Danny DeVito, I mean, come on, man. Does he look anything like Michael Myers? Is there any reason you had to make Danny DeVito commit suicide?
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Even his death was funny. His death was funny. Even the way he ran was funny.
That was just so absolutely ridiculous. Just take that whole. I get it. I get what you're trying to say with your message, but you're way too stoned to get it out clearly. Just take that whole part out. That poor bastard. And the mob mentality, that was something else that was cracking me up, because everybody went from, oh my God, Michael's back, to, they were more maniacal than Michael, like that. You just say Michael Myers' name, and they're ripping their shirts off, and they're monsters. They turn into monsters, and they focus all their hate on the other escaped mental patient. How many escaped mental patients have we got running around here now? And the poor guy kills himself, and they linger on the aftermath of that like twice. It's like, what are you doing?
It was the movie's Dr. Sartain moment.
Oh,
and then
Jesus
he slowly limp up the stairs. Like I was like, how did he escape a giant mob? Like my man is like limping like on one leg.
I wanted them to have pitchforks and torches on fire so
Oh,
badly.
I wish. Yeah,
I just
Jesus
hope
Christ.
that by the time we get Halloween ends, because it's set 4 years in the future, hopefully we'll have a new administration in control and the hospital insurrectionists will be brought to justice.
Oh.
Well, you know Michael's
Also,
gonna die of
Jamie
COVID,
Lee
right?
Curtis can get fucked with her Never mind.
Try again.
No, just a
Go for it. Go
political
for it. Go
issue.
for it. Go for it.
No, Jamie Lee Curtis can get fucked dropping any politics in her little interviews about the insurrection scene at the hospital. I'm like, do we need this? No. Fucking promote your movie and get on with it.
Promote the movie
that you're in for
12 minutes. This was written and shot before all that stuff happened, so I think it's almost irrelevant.
I know she's just
ridiculous.
Yeah, she's
Jamie
making
doesn't
it,
know what she's talking
I don't know
about.
what
Jamie
she's
Lee
bringing it
Curtis,
up for.
She's talking out her ass.
Yeah, she is. She just
the movie was written as a reaction to the madness of crowds, and I do think there was an attempt, brief and fleeting and unsuccessful, at tying a political movement to it. I think there was an assumption about how the previous election would happen, but it's not well developed. It's not well written. It's barely on screen.
Yeah.
Susan, are you muted?
Could have worked. It just
Susan, I
wasn't
think you might be muted.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep it.
Or she's just
Oops, I was muted. I'm sorry.
Okay. What were you trying to
My
say?
boyfriend just came out to tell me I'm muted. I promise I wasn't trying to talk at the same time as anyone, but the social commentary falls flat in this, and I feel that it falls flat because while they're trying to talk about how innocent people get hurt when there's mob mentality and all of this, what is really happening right now in the country is extremely divisive. It's not unifying whatsoever. So I got kind of an attitude about that, but that's just me, and who am I? So carrying on. Okay, go on. Sorry. Oh, and Big John and Little John. I was so excited and happy. I'm like, okay, they're bringing an LGBTQ plus a couple in here. So we're going to have a gay couple, you know, in a natural, organic way, right? We're not going to make them tokens. They're organic. They just happen to live in the Myers house. And if you guys noticed, when Tommy is standing at the gas station, talking to the people, rallying what they're going to do, there's a bench up against the building with Big John and Little John, who are realtors, throwback to Strode Realty. Anyway, I was so excited for that. And then they made them complete token buffoons, and I was very sad.
Yeah.
It was like they made fun of them. It was a
Right.
lot of the humor was at their expense. And
That's
I was
what I
like,
didn't
ow,
appreciate.
you know, that's
They could have put elements of comedy in it. Like they could have, you know, like think about even 2018, whether you love it or hate it, the moment where Hawkins and Laurie Strode back up into each other and, oh, fuck, you know, that was funny. You could do something like that where they're going through the house with their little or big knife. I mean, that was just idiotic, but whatever. I digress. They could have just backed up, done a little something that would have been funny in a moment of fear and not broken that tension and ruined the entire scene.
well, Danny McBride obviously wrote that scene, and you can tell, and it
Clearly,
just
yeah.
it's horrible. It's just not. It's bad for the characters. It's bad for the movie. But then remember, though, I said I did think this movie was so bad it was good, and I did enjoy it, maybe for the wrong reasons, but I had fun with it. And if people like this movie, like honestly love this movie, good for you, because we've had a lot of reasons to be depressed over the last couple of years.
Exactly.
And if this is a moment of happiness for you, seize that shit, man. Have fun with it. I support you.
Yeah.
And in everything I'm saying, you guys, Halloween is my franchise. Laurie Strode is my final girl. I say all of this with love. I don't care if someone loves it or hates it. I did like the movie, so don't get me wrong. But I just, as somebody that really loves Halloween, as a lot of us do, there are certain things that I just personally would have done differently to make me love it. But I know that for every single person, we're all going to have a different Halloween film that's going to be our perfect film. So, you know, just take everything I say with a grain of salt. That I do like the movie. I'm just not coming at it with hate, and I'm not coming at it with hate towards anyone who loves it or hates it for that matter. I'm kind of in the middle. I can go either way depending on my mood or whatever. It's one of those things, like you were saying, where you can watch it just for campy fun, or you can like pick it apart if you want to analyze it and say it could have been done so much better this way and this way. So I just think it's whatever your mood is. I mean, for me personally, and I find that that is probably why so many people either love it or hate it, is because there are these interwoven elements that are so differing that it just, even if you really love it or even if you really hate it, there are still certain aspects that you're going to say the opposite about, you know what I mean? So, I mean, yes, they did do something right, but I feel like, could we just get like a panel of Halloween fans to just give a little bit of input on some of this, because the continuity problems. Okay, Loomis just shot him 6 times, and now we're going to bicker about Hawkins stopping him from one more bullet. Give me a fucking break. Okay.
I'm on board with that. I'm on board with that, Susan. We really need fans to consult on some of these films. Be like, what is this? This doesn't go by any of the continuity. What's wrong with you people?
Right. I mean, Kane Hodder did that with Jason. He said, hold on, you want me to kill a dog? Jason would not kill a dog. Jason was upset because
he's wrong about that.
You know, no, but I mean, I just mean that there's,
see, I'm going to disagree with you ladies.
Someone to interject. You know what I mean? Someone that knows a lot about the lineage, because sometimes I think that they're not looking at the big picture of it when they're making the movies, because they're so in the soup that it's hard for them to see the bigger picture and pull back from that.
I got you.
The money.
I got what you're saying, and I disagree with both of you hardcore. What we need is no more panels, no more studio notes. We need writers and directors getting on the same page with all their art departments and making the film they want to make. That's how we used to get great films. That's how we got Halloween. Not by people saying, well, Psycho wouldn't have done that.
Right,
So
but they're not going to do that now, because now Halloween is too much of a cash cow with a big studio and a lot of money behind it. And that's
so where do you think I'm going with it? Let's not do any more Halloween movies. Let's not do any more Friday. Let's get rid of the franchises and do original films that we'll be as passionate about in 40 years as we are about the original Halloween today.
We need a national divorce from
That's
Halloween.
the problem. They won't do it.
Piz, you know, it'd be funny. Let's say me and you got hired on to be the consultants for Halloween Kills. This movie, when Michael hit the dirt in the beginning of the film, we would have zoomed in on a thorn symbol on his wrist, right? And then at the end of the movie, I would have told Jason Blum, and after the mob, the man in black comes out with a Tommy gun and he shoots everybody.
I'm surprised that didn't happen. I mean,
I love that idea. Well, let me. Did anybody, everybody in the chat too? Did you notice this? We're retconning all the sequels. Did anybody notice the shot from Halloween 2 they put in the movie?
Oh, with Annie, right?
Yeah. So I watched that. And I just went like, that doesn't exist. They just showed us something that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that was not canon now.
Yeah, like what?
The multiverses are collapsing.
I know.
It may not have.
I'm so sorry. Just to clarify, those are the type of things, Lauren, that I'm talking about, more like using footage from Halloween 2 that is no longer canon. Yeah, there could be a way to weave that in or something, but just things that just don't quite add up. That's what I mean by a panel on that, not to craft the entire thing or tell somebody what to do or anything like that.
I just feel like the tyranny of 11 previous films is what made this film impossible to be good at this point in modern Hollywood. You know,
totally.
Okay, so Jamie, you love Exorcist too. Yes. Can you imagine if Exorcist fans, let alone William Peter Blatty, had their thumbprints on that film? It wouldn't be the film you love.
No, it wouldn't have been that. No, it wouldn't have looked that way. It wouldn't have sounded that way. It wouldn't have been the movie that I grew up watching.
And I think that's why these movies are suffering so much. They're trying to serve so many masters because there's 11 previous films.
Yeah.
43 years.
Yep.
It's getting to the point where they have to say, well, what will everyone be down with? Well, gore and violence. How about some deadpan humor? I didn't think there was a single joke in this movie that worked, and there was a lot of humor in this movie. I don't have a good sense of humor, so that could be just me. But
I didn't like all the gay jokes with Big John and Little John. You
None
didn't
of
like Michael popping out of the closet.
I didn't
like the fact they put the jack-o'-lantern in the closet.
Yeah, what's up with the jack-o'-lantern in the closet?
Oh, wait. It's better than that. It's better than that. A shotgun shoots a pumpkin which explodes but leaves the wall behind it unscathed.
Yeah.
Watch it.
That's quality workmanship.
They
don't
that's
make
a
them like
thing.
that anymore. Maybe there was a stud there.
Did anybody else notice that they had a board game called Probe in the closet too?
Oh God! Was that
They're ripping off Elm Street.
Come on.
I want to ask you guys. I want to ask you guys this: the legacy characters or the fan service characters that got brought over into the film. How do you think Halloween Kills treated our legacy characters? What do you think, Christian?
When you say legacy characters, do you mean like Michael, Loomis?
I know specifically. I mean like Nancy, Lindsay, Tommy, Lonnie, those guys.
Tommy Doyle turned into a professional wrestler. I mean, the scene where he goes, 40 years ago, you protected me. And it's the same as me and you, Piz, Saturday night, the Taj Mahal settled the score. I mean, it was a wrestling promo. Like, why couldn't you just say, like, if he would have just looked at Laurie and said, tonight I'm protecting you. And like that was it. Okay, so not Tommy Doyle took a slump for me. Lindsay Wallace, perfectly fine. Kyle Richards is beautiful as hell, so she can do whatever the hell she wants. I'm gonna tell you right now.
She's beautiful.
No, but in all seriousness, she was fine because she didn't really say much. I saw somebody say a comment like her acting is still very 70s, whatever that means. I kind of understand
That would be a compliment.
That's what I'm saying. Whatever that means, I kind of understand it. And so she was fine. The nurse, she can get away with that line. This is for Loomis. I'll let that slide. But she died in H2O. She died here. So what the hell? Come back in 10 years when you're 87 and die again.
This is for Loomis. That's another one of those lines that made me go,
Well, and then to have the gun jam when she says it, it's like,
yeah, I guess when you
let her have her shot and then have him kill her anyway. Like, why?
Lindsay Wallace came out the best for me.
She did.
Yeah,
She
I
did.
agree.
So I'm gonna give it to Lindsay. And I know Stone Gassman is happy about that because he loves some.
She was
Lindsay
the
Wallace.
only reason why I saw Halloween Kills. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have bothered. Period. There's only one thing I found scary about Halloween Kills. Period, is the fact that this is really Kyle Richards returning to the screen after 40 years. And there's another character in the movie called Karen. That's all I'm saying. That's the scariest thing about this movie. You couldn't have made that up. This was meant to be. I applaud Kyle Richards. I want to see her back doing whatever she would like to do aside from Desperate Housewives, which I don't watch.
Yeah, her chase.
She was the reason why I saw it, and I enjoyed it just for her alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, her chase scene was the one moment of tension that I think I felt through the whole movie was her chase scene with Michael.
Bravo.
The one thing I'll add, one of the least, this could just be me, and I'm totally fine accepting that. One of the only characters I kind of honestly liked was the drunk dad. What was his name? Lonnie? Because he kind of talked like a regular person in this at times.
Yeah.
And his reaction seemed somewhat authentic. So,
yeah.
To hell, Lonnie, that little bastard, get out of there. And whatever Loomis said, he's fine in my book. But Tommy Doyle... we need to get the European Rusty Griswold in the next one, for God's sakes. If they can swap out the Rusties in the vacation movies, they can never mind, he's dead as hell in this movie. Screw it, bring back the Euro Rusty
in the last one. That doesn't mean
spoilers. Okay, then perfect. Let's put Euro Rusty on the ground after he got it stabbed or whatever, and he just rises up, and Euro Rusty comes back for this film.
But definitely, I thought Lindsay fared the best out of all of the fan service characters, or like whatever you want to call them. The movie kind of made all the other ones look really dumb.
Yeah.
Michael Hall.
Yeah, Tommy Doyle.
Everyone is dumb.
Tommy Doyle was.
I
thought Tommy was just insufferable. He was so earnest about everything, and just every movie he made was.
It's worse than.
So
they cut a decent amount of that character scenes, which they did film. It was going to be worse.
God damn it!
No.
Did you all buy his arc, Tommy Doyle's arc? Because I think he's supposed to have an arc with
The
Ed,
arc
right?
doesn't work with what they cut out. It was made the arc kind of work, but you would have liked him even less.
What is his arc then? Like, is it White Knight Syndrome? Because that's how I saw it.
No, it's the bullied kid who ends up to be a bully in his own house.
Right.
In his own house.
The character's no longer there.
They retconned the bully thing because Lonnie was his bully, and then in the flashback scene, Lonnie has a bully.
Yeah.
I
think that was all in service of that, all those missing scenes now, but it still didn't work.
And why they had to do the bird calls? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have my earbuds in. I'm so sorry.
No, I just want to know why Tommy didn't. I'm sorry, I keep talking over everyone.
No, that's how these shows should go. Everyone should talk at the same time. Go.
Go ahead. What were you going to say, Sam?
I just want to know why Tommy Doyle didn't get to do the bird calls at the talent show. Like he got up there and then he started talking about Michael Myers, and I'm like, is this an old timey term for telling a story? You know?
Yeah, and I mean
Make what the bird calls and shut the fuck up, Tommy.
Did anyone else get the sense that that whole thing in the bar is like this yearly thing that they do every Halloween? Because I kind of got the sense that it was like this thing that they did every single Halloween.
This is why I felt like all the characters were there for that purpose. It was a reunion on Halloween. Otherwise, I don't really think Marion Chambers would, hang out at the bar every night just shooting the shit with Lindsay Wallace.
Right.
Tommy and Lonnie definitely.
I desperately wanted them, as they went to each character and did the flashback, to the freeze frame on them and have a title card like a bad sitcom. Because that's what that whole sequence was meant, just to tell you who everyone was, like just blatantly, like, hey, this is the little girl. Remember, she sat on the couch. It was real fucking subtle.
But wasn't Anthony Michael Hall's speech meant to be like a hoorah, like celebratorial, let's get everybody together and go Haddonfield? I didn't feel anything at all.
I think his opening lines talking about Michael Myers is the worst thing possible. I need to know about you now. I don't care about you as a kid anymore. So when you go in just talking about Michael, I don't care about you. How about like he's at Raising Cane's or something? Doyle, Tommy, and then we introduce that's him, and then he's on the phone or he's with his kid or something or with somebody, and he has an exchange. Let me get to know you. Maybe I'll give a shit about you. But if you just start talking about Michael, dude, where Michael, just kill this son of a bitch. DDT him in the middle of this damn, just kill him. I think talking about Michael from the start was the worst decision possible. I really do. Really do.
And the zeroing in on everything, like when they showed Brackett, they zero in. They do this tight shot of his badge because we're all so stupid that we might not know his name. And then you've got Sheriff Brackett and Marion Chambers. And, you're not going to bring, well, maybe you are, I don't know. I mean, with him, whatever, for the next one. But you can't just have them have like a little exchange, like a 30-second scene, like a 1-minute scene even. Or you could have just had those OG characters have a little meaningful 2-minute scene and not have to spell everything out. Why do they feel like everything has to be written out? This is Sheriff Brackett. Here he was in 1978. I was like, give me a break. I'm done already. Why are the audiences being treated like such fools? Are people really this stupid? Because then I need the mothership to come because I can't.
Susan,
maybe
can I
they're
ask you a
doing
serious
it.
question?
That's the next movie, Susan.
Maybe they're doing it for just people they think has never seen a Halloween movie before. I don't know.
Right. I think that's what it is.
Susan, can I ask?
What good is a tight shot of a name tag that says Brackett if somebody hasn't seen the movie to know Sheriff Brackett? It's still pointless.
Because hey, look, it's from that movie from when I was a kid. Susan, I have a question for you. When Nurse Marion, right before she dies, she has a line that says, "This is for
Dr. Loomis."
Dr. Loomis. Michael didn't kill Dr. Loomis. What is she getting revenge for?
Because I'm assuming that because Loomis was trying to stop him and she thought by shooting him she would stop him, which also doesn't make sense why they made the gun
better
jam.
characters she could be doing that in revenge for.
But you see, I see his point. You have to think.
Yeah,
you
for
don't
Lori
know.
or for Annie or for whatever,
Sure.
For Linda. I mean, whatever.
It's just this careless. We wanted to say Loomis's name as many times as we can in the film because, hey, remember that thing from that film you liked.
Yeah.
Another big sticking point of Halloween Kills that's been very contentious is the new, I don't, is the T-1000 Michael Myers, the indestructible, Uber Michael, yeah, and I thought, wasn't one of the reasons why they retconned all the sequels not only to get rid of the brother sister angle, but to ground Michael and take it back to just this is just a disturbed man who is obsessed, who is obsessed with Laurie Strode.
I need
and
to
now, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I need to go full Pepe Sylvia on this. Whenever you're ready, Piz.
Do you listen? Let's do a Sam Slams.
Oh shit. All right.
Go for it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't have a problem with Michael being super strong, even though it doesn't really feel like the original, and I don't know what the hell that they're doing with the storyline. But I'm just going to call it now. This is setting up for Curse of Thorn and Season of the Witch in Halloween Ends because yes, he is abnormally strong. And then Laurie's talking about how every time he kills, he transcends.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how this works. What are we doing? But okay, far and away besides that. So the whole motivation for Michael here is that he's not after Laurie Strode. He just wants to go the fuck home and jerk off in front of his window into the void. Very, very simple. You know, and I'm going to say it now, Halloween Resurrection already called this. What did he do after he killed Laurie? He went the fuck home. He just wanted to go eat his rat on a hot plate with some fennel and be left the fuck alone. And that's exactly what we're doing in this movie.
Oh, God.
So I'm thinking, where he's standing in front of that window in his sister's bedroom, those line up on a certain pair of coordinates that correspond to the Curse of Thorn constellation, Thurisaz, or however you pronounce it, and that's going to have some relation to Stonehenge. I'm sorry I don't have more information on this because I'm not good with either runes or Stonehenge or astronomy in general. But that's what we're doing in part 3. And then Michael and Laurie are going to have to cancel each other out. Laurie's going to have to sacrifice herself to kill Michael and close the gateway. And then we're fucking done with this series.
For 3 years. For 3 years. Then we're rebooting it again.
For television.
I feel
Eli
like
Roth is coming back.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to set it up for that because Laurie Strode has the very unnaturally delivered, or I should say, very unnaturally written line of "Let him take my head as I take his.
Yes.
We both have to die," or whatever. And it's like, okay, so now are you giving us the end of ends? Because really, that was unnecessary. But whatever.
So I want to just put this out there, and I know this is going to be very unpopular. Jamie Lee Curtis is so bad in this movie. Like every line is fucking horrible.
The whole dialogue in the entire
No, but it's
movie
not
is
just the
horrible.
dialogue. There's crap that is just a bad choice. Everything from, I mean, listen, actors and actors don't get to decide how they put themselves on stage. They are directed, okay? But there's things like, as an actor, you say, hey, I just had surgery on my stomach. I probably wouldn't be lying on my side. Delivering lines, you're going to be I don't care if you're drugged out of you're going to either be unconscious or barely making sense, mumbling. This movie, like, her performance broke me. As the 12 minutes of Laurie Strode was painful, and they sold the movie on it. That final voiceover at the end might be the worst soliloquy in horror film history.
I don't blame any of the actors in this movie. They all looked really uncomfortable to me. But when you're asked to deliver that kind of dialogue, and you're asked to do these kinds of outlandish things, I mean, how do you do it? I mean, and make it.
She was asked to do just as bad of dialogue and stuff in Halloween Resurrection, and I think she comes off better in that movie than this.
I don't want to think about Resurrection. I just want, when it comes to Resurrection, I just want
a worse movie than this. There's no question about that.
I just want to think about Buster.
Her performance. I think that there is a lot of goodwill that's going to end up being. This movie's going to. It's all the 2018 goodwill is going to suffer because of this movie, and I think performances across the board could not elevate the screenplay. The writing is awful.
Well, yeah, I mean, how much can someone polish a turd, though? Do you know what I'm saying? I mean,
So-
I feel like my girl tried. That's what I feel like. I
So
feel
if-
like she tried. You know?
I'm sure she tried. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying she's a bad actress. What I'm saying is that in this, she couldn't elevate the material. So a good example is Eric Stoltz being replaced on Back to the Future because he didn't elevate the material from the page to where Michael J. Fox did.
Mm-hmm.
You can do a lot even given challenging material. And I'm not saying Back to the Future was challenging, but I am saying that the right actor could have maximized it. And I do not think that happened here, period.
Nick W in the chat says there's no difference between this Michael and Rob Zombie's Michael. I actually disagree. I think the Michael, especially in Zombies Halloween 2, was far more human than this. This Michael's not human at all. This Michael's a robot. So I really disagree with that.
I agree to the point where I felt like in some scenes it was an homage to that style of Michael, but not necessarily an exact replica of that Michael. I did get a few zombie vibes in the brutality, and the way Michael was a little, because he was always more of a subtle guy. He wasn't take the bulb out of the thing, break it, and then stab you in the throat like a soprano guy. You know what I mean? He didn't have the flair for the theatrics. It was just a knife was good enough for his bare hands, or maybe a rope or something, but he didn't really get all theatrical with the way he offed people, and he didn't use somebody as a pincushion. Which, if you like this stuff, that's fine. But again, I hope people understand that on a show like this, we get in the weeds. We deal with the minutia, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that say stuff like, "Oh, they're just being nitpicky. They're just being nitpicky." Well, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's why we have a show like this. We do this about other movies and other series too. It just so happens that this is the one we landed on this time. And as far as the working title for this film, instead of Aladdin Sane, it was Mob Rules. Get it?
Great album. Great album.
I get it.
But again, Romero handled that point much better in his zombie films, whereas the zombies aren't the monsters, we are the monsters. Right?
Yeah.
So he handled that much better. That this film, there's no subtlety in its messaging and anything. It's a hodgepodge of bad ideas and rerun ideas that aren't supposed to exist anymore, just piled into a pile of shit with a bunch of Christmas lights on it or something. It's just, what the hell am I watching here? But this was so batshit insane that I have to say I found it entertaining. I mean, maybe for all the wrong reasons, but I kind of enjoyed it.
Jamie, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, do you guys think that, because I was questioning the mask with his, because when she was telling this whole thing about, the transcending and all that stuff, he was talking, he had his mask off, and Judy Greer was going, hey, do you want your mask back and all this stuff. So I started to think, wow, is the mask going to be like the catalyst for some sort of like superpower? I mean, because I like the idea of him being just like this human being that's like just too hard to kill, just this brew of a man who just is just too hard to kill. And you could stab him and stab him and stab him, and he's just not going to die. And it has nothing to do with the fact that he's supernatural. He's just super strong. So that's kind of what I was hoping for. But the way that they're taking this seemed to be in some sort of supernatural level. And I just wondered if you guys think the mask has something to do with it.
Oh boy, in 2018, they did that shit with them. It's like the mask powers him up or something. It was like he just sat there chained to a square on a checkerboard for like 40 years and didn't fart or anything. He just sat there catatonic. And then those twits from England, the podcasters, bring that stupid ass mask in there, and they're like, "Talk to me, Michael," And then the penguin's over there shitting himself, and I'm just like, "What the fuck is going on here? What's up?" And then she did it again with the mask, and then she puts it in the middle of the street, and she had another gotcha moment like she did at the end of the last one, and it was like, wow, you're repeating your own shit now? It's like, what the hell? I mean, you're so unoriginal and so unimaginative that you're repeating your own bad stuff instead of the bad stuff that happened before. Is the mask his superpower thing? It's like, oh, I'm not Michael Myers without the mask. Give me the fucking thing back.
I don't think
It's like what Sam said. Maybe it's what Sam said. Maybe they're going to circle back around to 3.
Well, yeah.
Silver Shamrock.
Yeah, definitely.
I think what's going on is that, and I think the now erased but clearly being raped for its content, Halloween 2 is really the key here. Michael Myers represents the sacrificial law of the solstice, and he's the embodiment of the child sacrifice, or that if you don't commit to the child sacrifice, then the society has to pay. So I think they're just going back to the Celt themes, and masks were an important part of the not being able to recognize who's alive or dead on the streets rituals of the traditional samurai. So I think that's where it all is going to come back. And believe me, it's going to be a couple lines of dialogue in the next one. They're not going to flesh it out, because we see how well they flesh anything out. Either they go over the board and pound you in the head with it, like it's a cricket bat, or they don't manage to get it across at all. That seems to be the new
they gotta
Hollywood
leave room
thing.
for those penis jokes, man.
And I think
and drones inside, and there's a guy in our house. Wow, what is he doing? Who cares? Like, people don't talk that way in stressful situations.
But I think that was a good point too, Lauren. About I think the biggest issue that I see with Michael Myers 218 and Kills is the fact that, number one, visually they show too much of him.
Mm-hmm.
They show way too much of him. Like in the flashback scenes, I mean, I had fun with the movie, but I'm making the point that, like, in the flashback scenes, they're showing way too much of him. When you watch Halloween 1, everything is up front and bashing you over the head, like you said, Lauren. So it's like, in the original movie, he's the boogeyman. He can be in any part of the frame. You can see his shoulder. He could be in the backyard. He's lit very... You know what I mean? You kind of see the mask kind of fade out. You're not sure, is he a ghost? What is he? You know, and that's what I don't feel from this Michael Myers. I just feel like he's a dude that's unstoppable, but I don't feel like he's just this thing that won't die and he's everywhere. I don't feel that. And I think that's the issue.
I kind of felt like the end of the original went with that, because the mask was blank, pale, emotionless face, right?
Right.
Not human. Whatever was behind his eyes wasn't remotely human. He was the embodiment of pure evil. And yeah, he was more of a creeper than he was, an athletic killer, I guess. He's pretty spry in this one. I mean, the old man's got
they let
it,
us make the choice. Remember, they let us as the audience make the choice in the original movie, and even some of two. They let us. They don't say he's supernatural, he's great. They let us kind of figure out, is he? They leave it up to us. They don't tell us what he is.
But
ambiguity is kind of dead in modern film.
Dead.
But like you said, just cast a shadow. Why do we need to see James Jude Courtney's full-on white hair back of his head? Like, we don't need that. We don't need on the TV a soft focus. Someone took some Vaseline and, put it over the lens. Someone put a little Instagram filter over it. It's James Jude Courtney. Please don't do that. Like, it just takes away any element of suspense, tension, apprehension, fear, whatever somebody might be feeling. It just takes that away. And yes, I understand they're trying to drive the point home of, fear the living, not the dead, fear, actual people instead of monsters. But come on, this is supposed to be a Halloween movie. And Halloween said that Michael is the essence of evil. So he's not just a little boy anymore. He's not just another human for you to be afraid of because you watch so much ID channel and it's always a regular person doing horrific things. This was established, and you're saying that you're going from that to this. I understand if this was a clean slate, any movie, do whatever the hell you want. But you're saying that Halloween 1978 is canon, Halloween 2018, and now Halloween Kills. And in Halloween 1978, part of what worked so well is the absence of things, the absence of seeing him, the absence of knowing his backstory, the absence of the gore, because your freaking mind could do better. And I don't know whether it's people with the advent of Google, everybody doesn't even have to remember anything anymore. I mean, how many people's phone numbers do you not know by heart anymore? Is that what they're capitalizing on? I don't know, but it really irked me that they didn't take a damn note from 2018 and stop showing him, have him in shadow, show his shoulder, just like what Monty was saying, show his shoulder, whatever. We get it. We don't need everything spelled out. You're taking away some of that tension and the fear and the fun of the experience of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
in the first film,
very subtle opinion on it.
Well, one of the best scenes in the first film is when she's standing there and then they fade in the key light and his mask illuminates and he's standing in the doorway behind her.
Oh, beautiful scene.
There's none of that in hardly any of the sequels. I think maybe the original Halloween 2 is the only one that tried to retain any of that kind of
feel. They did in 2018 with Laurie in the shadow and saying "Happy Halloween, Michael." I love that. I
should have been Busta Rhymes.
That was one of my favorite moments of 2018. But
Busta Rhymes like "Happy Halloween, motherfucker," and kicks him down in the basement. That would have been more entertaining.
Damn great.
And then the two cops from Part 5 show up and shoot everyone.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
To the sound effects. It's weird though with what they're trying to do is to create a commercial property that they think will go for another 40 years. But they're trying to please people today. John Carpenter was making a film that he thought was appropriate for that moment, not for a fandom that existed for 40 years.
Yeah.
But
It's a whole different.
I know teenagers who say they didn't want to see the face. They didn't want to know what he
No,
looked like.
I'm not arguing
Not
with
just,
you.
not just how old am I
The
today?
whole point of
62,
the white mask is that it's anyone.
Right.
The whole thematics of the original Halloween is that the urban crime that had been in the 60s relegated to our inner cities was reaching out to the suburbs. This film feels like it needs to tell us that with the third line of dialogue in the film. Oh, Haddonfield, the town where nothing happens. Have to say it out loud. But that thematics, you had to have a blank mask. Michael Myers should be a blank. He's the shape, right, Mike? He's the shape. He's not Michael Myers. That's the whole point. They keep making Michael Myers movies. They need to stop. They need to make a shape movie, which the first two originals were. What the first film obviously more successful than the second, but the idea that when we define our horror villains too much, they lose all ability to frighten us because we can no longer look into the reflected mirror. Now we're looking at a portrait of a person. We're always more scared of ourselves and our neighbors, and we've lost that with this franchise. So they've replaced it with gallons of blood and some admittedly really effective death scenes. But they're all empty because I don't like any of those characters. And I don't see where any of the story is going because it keeps going in these cul-de-sacs. So I don't feel the pressure towards the ending. There's no gravity to the film. You just kind of watch it very passively and hope for the next gore scene. Even the Friday 13th never got to that point. They at least had a direction the stories were going in. This thing really doesn't. It really is just Michael walking across town. And I don't know what to say to the person who says, I can't wait for Ends, because if you don't see what you're getting from these two films with Ends, and maybe that's what you want, cool. I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't like, but excited? I can't even fathom being excited for another one of these.
I'm excited for it to end.
I'm
I say
excited for it.
just let him go home, let him stand in front of his window, and let him be. Listen, if I was describing a plot to a movie, and I said all the guy wants to do is go home, and people keep getting in his way, you'd go, well, that guy's the hero, right?
It's a human remake of Homeward Bound.
I am going to laugh my ass.
That's what it is.
They can't kill him. They can't stop him. So if all he wants to do is stare out his window, just let him be.
Let him. Just
have somebody keep a lookout to make sure he's still staring out his window. Just make sure is he still there? Okay, cool. Then we can go about our daily lives. Right? Oh shit, he's not in the window anymore. Fuck. Just keep an eye on him. Let him stare out the window if that makes him happy. Hey, he's not killing anybody, right?
Hopefully he's just taking a pee. Let's move on here. I do want to mention this because the Daily Ghost is taking a shot at me in the chat saying, remember the acting in Pieces. Brilliant. That was Pieces. Those were porn actors in Pieces.
Bastard.
This is Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis and Will Patton and Judy Greer and Oscar nominated actors. You're talking about Pieces.
I have a
Jesus
question.
Christ.
This won't take long. I'm sorry.
Sure.
If I haven't seen, or if Jamie Lee Curtis hasn't seen Michael Myers in 40 years, how the fuck does she know he transcends?
Because they had to tell us.
Just Lori things.
Yeah. They had to tell us.
It was
There's
in the
a lot of
script.
I'm being dead serious.
Yeah, I'm
She was
serious.
so
Christian,
high
I
on
think they had to tell
morphine,
us.
man.
I almost feel like the character. I almost feel like her character wasn't even in line with 2018. She spoke in run-on sentences in 2018. She was a drunk. The bastards show up to interview her. She's like, "Give me my money." That was it. And in this one, she's given a monologue about how he transcends. Is this a Freddy Krueger? It'd make more sense if it was Freddy, because that son of a bitch transcends when he kills, right? He gets stronger. Maybe Freddy's under the mask. I'd be happy about that.
Yeah.
She got all the Loomis speeches, and it makes no sense.
That's what I was gonna say. She did. She turned into Dr. Loomis in this movie.
They had to have a
Finally
Loomis.
became the final girl. Loomis has been the final girl this whole time, and Lori finally got there. Good job.
Yeah.
Well, we've been very, very critical of Halloween Kills, and I think deservedly so. Let's talk about some of the finer points of Halloween Kills. What were some of the things? Because I know Susan, you said you liked it. Okay, Monty, I know you said you kind of liked it. Okay, Jamie, you liked it. Okay, what were some of the things that you got? And Christian, I know you said you liked it pretty well. What were some of the things you had fun with it for the wrong reasons?
But there were. I think a lot of times the people that make these movies, the poor crew, never gets the up. You know what I mean? I mean, these are the people that actually work the 16 to 18-hour days while Jamie Lee Curtis is in her, having a coffee in her trailer. You got the grips and the riggers and all the people building the sets. I mean, that one set of the street was in a studio. All those houses were built by carpenters, and they did a great job. The lighting department, the camera department, the sound department. I mean, there's a lot of people that deserve a pat on the back for the work they did on this movie. And actually the flashback sequence, I thought they worked really hard to try to match it up, successfully or not, with the first film. I like the look of the younger Myers, the cleaner look. From a distance, it looked good enough. And the work they did on the guy with Loomis, I thought they did a good job trying to match that up. Now, Myers was a little too caffeinated compared to what he was in the first film, but it was still, it felt like there was effort there. I mean, they put a little grain, so I have to give props to the crew and to the people, the production, itself, all the people involved in, getting everything together. Because they did a really good job with it, and it looked, for the most part, looked really good. It wasn't their fault that they were, making a bad movie, but they made it look as good as they could. So
there was some good attention to detail with that flashback. They had like the broken gutter that had swung down and broke the window with Loomis when Loomis was in there with the cop. They had that. There was some nice moments of, like I said, attention to detail in there that I really.
The alley looked kind of like the alley from part 2.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to see the dead dog that he ate earlier in the first film. We never got to see that before, huh?
We did.
Bonus.
Before we watched Halloween Kills, my girlfriend asked me, "Well, what did Michael eat?" And I said, "Dog." No, seriously, he killed a dog. He killed a dog and he ate it. Oh my God. She was concerned about the dogs. She could care about the people.
Hey, he got hungry.
I already like your girlfriend. I the same way. Like, you can knock off all these people. You kill the dog, and I'm like, why? Why did you have to do it? So I tell her I agree.
And I'm always for the opinion that the animal should go. If you're gonna bother doing it, do it.
Yeah. What were some Monty? What were some of the things you liked about Halloween Kills?
You know what? It gets me every time. The John Carpenter score. You know what always has gotten me, and I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this. The titles of the Halloween movies, especially the early ones. I'd even go with even Halloween, probably 1 through 4. Excuse me. I'd even say 5. 1 through 5. The titles are so important to these movies. And I will say, not 218, but this one, I think they nailed the title sequence a lot better than they did. It felt very close to Halloween 2, 1981. And John Carpenter's score, although I didn't like it as much as the score was the best part of 218 to me. But this one, I could kind of hear little They Live, little bit of Big Trouble in Little China inklings in there. But it just like, it kind of just gets you just like going. And that was the part that I really liked. I like the titles, and I love the John Carpenter score. I thought that was on point to me.
Christian, what were some of the things that you legitimately liked about Halloween Kills?
James Hugh Courtney's a bad son of a gun. I think he is awesome. I really do. I think I mentioned earlier, I liked Lonnie. Thought he was all right. I guess the score's fine. I don't remember much of it. But, I mean, Cody did a really good job last time. I'm sure Cody did a really good job this time. Because that's who's making them. It's not a bad film, and it's not a bad made film at all. I just don't like... I didn't like the tone of the dialogue. It's, it's middle of the pack for me. It's impossible to just judge Halloween movies on quality of the production. They hit you in the feels different ways. So, you know, that's a lot of these horror franchises. So it's not a bad movie. It's not my favorite, but I think James Jude, thankfully, he's become a real highlight. I think he's fantastic. I think he gets it. He's kind of like Kane Hodder. Like he knows what he's doing and he's taking it seriously. He's doing a great job. So,
Stone, other than Kyle Richards?
Other than Kyle Richards, yes. Hey, I mean, I said earlier that I said earlier what the only scary thing I thought was in this movie, and that's the thing. There are almost no scares in this movie, but I don't mind a brutal upgrade at all. I'm one of the few on this panel that actually loves Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which I'm going to have to do a scientific analysis to see which movie is gorier, this one or Halloween Kills. That's a tough. But also what Monty said, the score. Hey, I've listened to the score for the 2018 10 times, and I've only seen the movie twice. That says a lot about how much I love the score. Hey, I was even trying to get a petition on Twitter to get Carpenter nominated for an Oscar. So, because why not? After 40 years of contributions to the film business, wouldn't this have been the ideal way to honor him? Of course, they didn't nominate it. And of course, there's a question mark about whether that should be counted as an original score. When I talked to experts, they said it was. But at any rate, I mean, there were other things I liked about the movie in terms of just the how well it moved and everything. The plot, I mean, we can complain about the plot and the dialogue all day. It was garbage most of the time. But at the same time, I actually had a fair amount of fun while watching it. And watching it multiple times, it didn't make me... The movie never made me angry. It never made me upset. I went along for the ride as best I could, despite Evil Dies Tonight being said more times than Red Rum and The Shining, which is about as annoying and repetitive as it can get. But, you know, I had fun. And I think I've said every positive thing I've had to say.
Okay. Here's a direct quote from Dan, who's had some technical difficulties tonight. But I asked Dan on Twitter, was there anything you liked about Kills? His response was, the only good thing I can say is the actor who played Loomis looked good. And I actually thought it was CGI. Other than that, I liked when the credits started rolling so I could go home.
Hey, Piz, that actually reminded me, I'm a really big Ghost fan, the band, and I did stay and listen to the song Hunter's Moon. I didn't like, they used a weird version. It's not the studio version that was released as a single. It sounded like a demo version that was on the title credits, but it's a cool song. I like Ghost a lot.
For what it's worth, I like it too.
I told my husband, I said, oh my God, that sounds like Christian. That's what I said when I was listening to that, because it sounded like you singing.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What were some of the things you liked about the film, Jamie?
Well, I liked the pace. I thought it was exciting. I really like I said, I thought there were some really good shots, like the part where Lori and the sheriff are talking to each other and you can see the sheriff's reflection in the mirror. I really, really like that. I love those kind of creative shots like that. Also, there was a similar shot when Karen goes upstairs to Michael's sister's bedroom and she's standing there looking out the window. I'm assuming to see, you know, what she sees when she's looking out the window. And what does she see? She sees herself. And that gave her the idea that maybe he was looking at himself, right? Didn't she say that?
Yeah.
And I kind of like that aspect of it. The music is incredible. I really, really love the score. I like the mixture of the old music with the new music. And the new music has this like industrial, like metal type feel to it. This very, I thought it was very kind of David Lynch-like. So I really enjoyed that part of it. I didn't care so much about their phrase, you know, evil dies tonight, because I think evil right now reigns. So I want to see evil die tonight.
Lord.
And so I didn't mind that so much. But I do think they overdid it. And I didn't like that so much. I didn't like the fact that they were drilling it. I get why they're drilling it, but I didn't like that because I knew a lot of people weren't going to like that. And I don't like to have to try to stand up for something that's going to be so hated. You know what I mean? So I just kind of put that one aside. And I do think there's a message here that they're trying to say that's bigger than what people are talking about, but I'm not going to talk about that much. I might eventually make my own video on my channel about what I'm really thinking about the depth of what they're trying to say behind all the actions and choices they made. But I do think there is something to it. I think there's more to it than what people are realizing. And I actually like the message. So that's why I liked it.
Okay. Anybody else want to throw out some positives?
Well, I agree that the OST is good. Now you can go to John Carpenter's YouTube channel and he does a vinyl playthrough of the OST. And I listened to it before I saw the movie because if you're not paying attention, they don't really focus on the music as much as I would like. So I it would have made it a little better had the music been more in the foreground. There'd been more music. It's a variation of the original music, kind of like in Halloween 2 with Alan and John pumping up the soundtrack, adding the synths, making it more pronounced. That I really like. 2's kind of become my go-to if I'm going to watch a Halloween film. Sure, it's inferior to the first film, but I don't know. I like that movie. And really, Michael dies at the end of that film, and that's the end of this whole story for me. I like 3 because it's a fun standalone flick. I enjoy it, and the soundtrack on that one's good too. But all the other sequels, I could take them or leave all of them. I really don't care. So it's not like I'm some kind of purist that's gonna, when somebody tells me you didn't like this movie, well, part 5 was terrible. I didn't say it wasn't. I don't understand. I mean, you put 2 turds on a sidewalk and try to convince me that one's better than the other. I'm just going to look at you like you're stupid.
Welcome to Twitter.
And I'm not a glass half full kind of guy. I'm the guy that goes, "Hey, there's piss in that cup." It's like it's the contents of the cup.
Sam takes a drink. Yeah.
That really, I pay attention to. And so there were some positive things. I did like the pay. I had fun with this movie. I mean, sure, it's bad, but I did not dislike it as much as 2018. 2018 is a movie I will never watch again. This one I'll probably revisit occasionally because it's so stupid it's fun in a lot of ways. So it's not like I'm just all hate with this. I'm just pointing out the things I think were stupid and the choices they made that were wrong. But overall, I had fun with quite a bit of it.
But the question is, what was more stupid? Was it misidentifying the patient, or beating Michael Myers to death and he's lying there and they don't shoot his head?
Listen, we're talking about positives now. We're trying to focus on the positives now.
Yes, I know.
We're trying to.
You got to double tap, man. That's the law.
I will say this. I don't remember, other than the theme that hit when at the beginning, like after he misses Michael. Like that's the only time I really remember hearing any music in the movie. And
it was very sparse.
One of the
most stings, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of the most memorable parts from Halloween 2018 is when Michael's chasing the granddaughter down the street. You just hear wah wah wah, and the music just kind of explodes. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's John Carpenter. I don't remember really much of the music in Kills aside from that part during the flashback.
Like in the original when after she falls down the stairs and Michael's coming down the stairs, you got that dun dun dun, and it gets dun 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 dun, and it builds up the tension of the scene, and she's running to the neighbor's house and they like turn off the lights and she's trying, and as he's approaching her, the music is part of the whole experience, and I think in these last 2 films they've really kind of backed off of that being a part of it, and not for a good result. I think you really need to have, in certain scenes, you need to have that music pumping to kind of add tension to the scene.
Yeah.
Pianos.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the music was really well done, but again, like you said, Piz, I think that 2018 did it better. But I understand that this is still a continuation of a trilogy, basically. So, you're going to have elements of that 2018 music woven into the next two. I get that, but like everybody said, the music didn't stand out as much in this film, and I feel like it could have gained a little bit more momentum from pushing that soundtrack to the forefront a little bit more, because let's face it, I mean, John Carpenter always gets it right, and Cody and is it Dave? But
Daniel
anyway,
Davies.
Daniel, yeah, Davies, yeah. But yeah, I mean, they always get it right, so it could stand to have been pushed more to the forefront as far as that's concerned. But I mean, obviously it sounded great. And the lighting, I think the lighting in this movie was amazing. Like, I was never, and I don't know why, but lighting really is a tipping point for me in a movie. It can literally make it or break it. It can make me never want to see it again. Even if it's great, a great screenplay, great acting, I don't care. If the lighting is really screwed up, I just can't. And I think the lighting was really well done in this. And again, Kyle Richards, Lindsay's chase scene, I just freaking loved that. I would have loved more of that deep woods. I understand Jason, Friday the 13th, getting a little hinky on the territory, but still, I really enjoyed that. I think that it could have benefited from a little bit more of that. When they all showed up, they could have fanned out and they could have taken advantage of that, a little bit more. But I really love that aspect of it. And I mean, I do like that they tried to do something different. And then there's little things, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like the bartender, I thought, wow, he really is just like so down home. He really seems like he's a bartender. So I looked it up, and guess what? His name is Brian Mays, and he's a good friend of David Gordon Green, and he owns a bar in Austin, and so did his dad or grandfather or whatever. And all that is like legit within this movie. So I think it's cool that they are really trying to, even though now it's big Hollywood, big budget, big studio, that they are trying to bring those elements of something that would normally be an independent movie, those kind of aspects of bringing personal people in to play similar roles as themselves or whatever, and things like that. I find that like heartwarming, and that's just me, and I'm a girl, and I love that, and that's just where I'm going to stand on that. Nobody can change my mind. But I just thought that those kind of aspects were really well done. I think that it could have been a little bit more edited, certain things like in a half an hour on the Figaro guy. We didn't need all that. I understand that it was for social commentary purposes, but still, we could have just had that a little bit more succinct, a little bit more condensed, and moving on, because you're getting way off track now from that momentum that you're building of Michael's coming to get us. And I just felt that the movie kind of lacks some tension. But when it did have tension, like when Kyle Richards, when Lindsay is being chased, I thought that they did that well, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm excited knowing that that dude actually has a bar, and it's in Austin, because now I'm just gonna go to that bar.
Yeah, his name is Brian Mays. I couldn't find the name of the bar, but his name is Brian Mays.
Yeah, I saw him on IMDb because he was he was like, hey, look, a normal person.
Yeah. Because I just thought, oh man, he's so good. It seems like he really does own a bar. And then I look it up and I'm like, oh my God, he does. I just thought that was cool. And the actors, to me, did seem like they had a cohesive gel with each other. But again, with the dialogue and stuff, and the whole Tommy Doyle situation, I don't know. But other than, Anthony Michael Hall, I love you in all the John Hughes movies. Love you in them. But not so sure if Tommy Doyle is literally like your other, alter ego. Anyway.
National Lampoon's Halloween Vacation.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious if they did like a parody and had him in it playing Tommy Doyle. I would see that. I would see that.
Very close to this. What I liked about this movie, since trying to focus on some positives. So the morgue scene, you can see a little bit of Dr. Sartain's penis.
Oh,
what?
Did it have penis?
just a little bit, but me and my husband, we both caught it right away when we were in the theater.
I caught it.
We don't really get a lot of nudity in horror films, and we certainly never get any male nudity. So it's like just a little bit.
That's the nudity. That's the nudity everybody was waiting for too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said I was scarred for life by that somewhere on here, but my boyfriend and I noticed it too. My boyfriend and I also said, oh, and then like Oscar's mom comes in and sees him dead. How many morgues and hospitals do we know that just lay the bodies out naked with no covering, with a glass wall, so that everyone can just see them on display like it's a deli counter? I was so confused by that.
Welcome to the hospital. Have you seen the penis?
We do that at all the hospitals.
It's just a little sartainment for you.
Because Sartain's head was crushed, they had to lift up to identify
That's
the
the only
penis.
thing they could identify.
They brought 7 children in and they had consensus.
His curse of thorn is on the underside of his penis. That's why. The curse of thorn tattoo. I guarantee. I feel like Dr. Sartain was part of the curse of thorn, but I don't know why we didn't get there with it.
Can you imagine
Did you see it at the theater, or did you see it on Peacock, Sam? When you saw that, when you saw the penis?
These jokes are writing themselves right now.
No, in the theater, or
Yes.
did you see it
Yeah,
on
it was
Peacock?
in the theater.
Okay, because the only reason I asked is because my boyfriend and I had to rewind it because I'm like, wait, did I just see Sartain peen? I need to know.
Yes.
I need to
glad
know.
that I didn't imagine that. Would have been really awkward.
Well,
Jamie,
it's-
feedback?
I have so many pages I can't find it right now.
This is making sure that I'm going to buy the movie. That's, you know.
Sartain?
She's going to get that limited edition.
Just the fact that there's
Sheriff
pee shown.
Sheriff Brackett repeating his tagline from the original, though. I'm sorry,
Awful.
chills. I know I'm old school, but I love that. I love
You
it.
like that? I hated that. That was like the worst kind of fan service ever for
I'm
me.
a female.
clunky
I'm
and
a
forced.
female.
Yeah.
I love the sentimental things. It's who I am. It's who I am. I can't
Well,
help it.
I wish they would have had a scene where like they brought like a member of Sartain's family in and were like, ma'am, do you recognize this penis?
That's my dad.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus
Saw that every Saturday night for 14 years.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We
were a
went
close
dark right
family.
there.
Oh, we're getting twisted.
We got dark right there. Let's talk about. Does anybody want to share any predictions for Halloween Ends? Are we gonna? Predictions Halloween Ends? How's this thing gonna end?
I legitimately have a prediction, and I don't know, so don't be like, oh, somebody explain it. I just legitimately think this movie's gonna end with Michael and Laurie burning in the Myers house. That's the only way they're gonna kill Michael. Is gonna burn Michael in the Myers house.
I hope you're right, because that sounds awesome.
What else? What else are they gonna do?
They gave it away with Laurie's line. Let him take my head as I take his. We both die. That's the only way this thing will ever end. That's her line. She's telling you how they're gonna freaking end.
But at the same time, the whole movie is saying, "Bitch, this isn't about you." You know what I mean? Like, that's what they're.
That's true.
So there's really
right? They did. They're like,
They
no,
spent
it's
two
not about you.
movies.
He wasn't after you.
Yeah, they spent 2 movies making sure we understood that, and now all of a sudden
now
she.
Now they're
This is
Yeah.
Star Wars. This is the new trilogy all over again.
Yes.
Now, wait a minute. Do you guys think that they might be so bold to kill Jamie Lee Curtis in the beginning of the movie and have Judy Greer take
Only
over?
if she agrees to.
You don't think, or at least in the middle?
How?
She may
I
say
don't think
fuck it.
Judy Greer's coming back.
Judy Greer's dead.
Is she dead?
I wouldn't be so sure. I wouldn't be so
That's the thing,
sure.
Christian. Her
They
eyes, she looked like she was just.
I
sleeping.
wouldn't be so sure. Why did they cut out the phone call then? Why'd they cut out the phone call? That's a premise.
Well,
That was a whole hallucination. She's not dead.
We're gonna-
She's not dead. She is not.
I
I'm
thought that
serious.
Karen was gonna bite it in this one in 2018.
She's not dead.
I called it. I think that Jamie Lee Curtis, everybody's saying, oh, well, she's only, going to be there for a certain amount of time. Well, but she was for 2018 as well. And a lot of people thought she was going to be killed off in the beginning of 2018 because of it. I think she just goes in and just hammers it out for however many, golden time hours or whatever, for anybody else who's SAG and understand what that means. I think she's just going to hammer it out. But I think that it's ultimately going to be like what everybody else is saying as well, that it's going to be both of them going down together.
We need to see Ben Tramer in Halloween Ends, and we need him to get Ben Tramered. Otherwise, I riot.
Yes.
It won't be very long or destructive, but I'll do what I can.
Ben
If
Tramer,
any-
well, wait. if Hawkins dies, Ben Tramer can step back in because she was sweet on
Hawkins
him.
gets
originally.
Tramered.
What?
Hawkins gets Ben Tramered.
Oh my God. You said it first. Oh, wait. There. You said it.
I think it'll be interesting.
I think Mike's going Buster Rhymes for this still.
I'm going to make a
Happy
prediction that
Halloween.
I'm going to make a prediction that it'll be a siege movie in mostly a single location.
Oh.
Did that seem oddly specific?
It did.
It does seem very specific.
And I think I know what you mean.
How are they going to explain this? I mean, how are they going to explain? I think we touched on a little bit his supernatural abilities to not die. Why does he just want to stand in front of a window? How are they going to explain all that? And clearly, I mean, we've joked about Halloween 3 and the Blumhouse are making a Halloween 3 movie. There's no doubt about it. There's no reason for them to keep throwing Halloween 3 in our face with those masks. They're doing Halloween 3.
I think it'll be for a streaming service. So I don't think it'll be theatrical.
It might be good then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. I mean, of course, they're going to have the big showdown, and they'll go down, I think, together, and it'll be a Alien 3 type ending.
Oh God!
But
watch it, Monte. We've been all nice so far. You want to start it for real now? Do you want to go?
Picture versus Cameron.
Don't fuck with Alien 3. You know how that's going to set me right off.
I happen to love Alien 3. So yeah.
they're good. I'm just trying to say they're going to go down together. It'll be some kind of ending like that where they go down together. So I mean, I think we know how that's going to end. How's it going to get to that point? How are they going to? And maybe they won't even try to explain things. He's just Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why even?
Michael Myers is going to bring down his house with Laurie inside, just like Carrie and Carrie.
Oh,
sure.
I like that.
But will there finally be the rain of stones, like in the novel?
Yes. I like that.
I like that.
Put that in the movie.
So,
in heaven, they're going to ride the white horses into the sunset.
Ooh, I like that. I like that idea.
I just want it to end. I don't care. I don't care how. Just please end it.
Well, they have David Gordon Green has confirmed that they're going to do a time jump. Originally, they were going to do all three were going to take place in the same night, but now they're going to do this time jump, and I think they're going to put COVID's going to play some point. Maybe that's what kills Michael. I don't know. Maybe that's the only thing that can do.
Piz, don't you think that's why they had Laurie Strode have the line of maybe it'll be tonight, maybe it'll be next Halloween when someone's alone. They're going to try to make an excuse in it already, plant the seed that it's going to jump a year.
Well, I mean, I can, Michael is in that age range where it's deadly, and he ain't getting the jab.
He wears a mask. He's good.
That's
Michael's
not
I'm
not
the
an
one that
approved
jabs.
mask.
I don't take them, I give them.
Let's be real. Piz. The COVID aspect was just another way for them to justify having more Halloween 3 masks in this movie.
Exactly.
Yes.
How are they gonna bring in the, how are they gonna what's the social message going to be about the anti-vaxxers and stuff? Let's not go there. It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen.
I'm sure whatever it is will be real subtle.
Very subtle.
Michael's going to get taken out by the virus the same way the aliens get taken out in War of the Worlds.
Or he's going to recover and then he'll be even stronger because of the antibodies.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited for this movie
That's
now.
how they'll keep it going after End.
The possibilities.
Is Michael going to get admitted to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital and be in the room next to Laurie after Hawkins bites it? I just need to know.
Here's the funny thing. This scene will be in there. Laurie's going to be like, "You've wanted me all these years." This may be the only time Michael actually speaks. Like he lifts up his mask and go, "Who are you, bitch? I don't care about you."
I would love that. I would love that.
Love that.
And then Bud from Halloween 2 would come back.
All I want to do is look out that window. Get out of my house. You know what I mean? Trespasser.
I'm hoping that at the end of the next film, Lance Guest wakes up from the concussion.
Yes,
and it was all a dream. Everything from 2 onward was just a bad dream.
It was all in Lance Guest's head. I love it. I love it.
I like
As
that.
he's on the way to go, he literally gets into his car, concussed, to go make Last Starfighter.
Oh, I love it. Then he go.
We got to new heart this shit to make it make any sense at this point.
He could go. My dream started about there was a big shark, and then it was Michael Myers. How did that happen? He was in
My
Jaws
head
4.
feels like a shark fin.
Michael Myers is going to wear. I got one last thing. Michael Myers is going to put on a wig and go to a bar and sit down and be like, "Change the channel," and all of a sudden you can hear the immortal classic Halloween 3: Season of the Witch on the TV.
There we go. Well, we've talked a lot tonight about Halloween Kills, and we've talked about the good, we've talked about the bad, and I think it's probably split. I mean, I think half of us seem to like it, and the other half didn't seem to like it. So, but I think we were very balanced. We talked about what worked, we talked about what didn't work, and yeah. So, any closing thoughts on Halloween Kills before we call it a night?
How are we? Should we address the ending at all?
Oh yeah. Well, one thing I was going to bring up. Thank you, Sam. I was going to bring up the fact that the ending, that was not the scripted ending, and the scripted ending was much better. But because they're doing this time jump, they went with the Michael just appears behind her ending.
The teleportation angle.
The teleportation, yeah. Which that's brought up a lot of fan theories that, well, it can't be real. It's too ridiculous. How did he get up there? He just appeared. It's got to be like a.
That's why they established that there's a back door and a front door earlier in the film.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The end was only missing one thing, you guys. Like a Saturday morning movie or whatever you want to call it. This right here.
Yeah.
I was waiting.
Or like a Bond screen. Michael Myers will return in Halloween Ends.
Right? I was really seriously waiting. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Where's the to be continued? I'm waiting for it. Oh, okay, it's not. Okay, fine. But it felt like that. Like the ending to me, I don't know. Am I way off base? It just felt like one of those to be continued type.
So you saw the trailer, right? You heard Laurie say, "I'm coming for you, Michael," right? In the trailer? That was the last line of the film.
Yeah.
It's no longer there. They took the phone call out.
Yeah. So what happened originally?
I watched it on Peacock though. It was different. It just flashed.
So originally, well, and I've heard all sorts of people say that like the Peacock presentation has either edited down the kills or there's something weird with the aspect ratio. There's like some kind of autoplay at the end where the movie starts auto playing the next movie over the ending of Halloween.
Yes, it did. And here's the thing: if you rewind it on Peacock, okay. Because for those not in the know, I would have gone to the theater. I support theaters. I love theaters. I want them to stick around. I own AMC stock, etc., etc. Okay. I've had anaphylactic shock from vaccines, so I cannot be, so anyway, I had to watch it on Peacock. Okay. And here's the thing. It literally just ended. And I'm like, wait, and I had to go back, play again, forward, rewind. And then you see Laurie's face at the end, but you originally, to me, on my first play, you did not see Laurie's face at the end, and you did not hear that. And it also immediately went to showing Prom Night, Jamie Lee Curtis Prom Night, okay?
Yeah, it did.
And I did not even get any of the credits. So then I had to go back again, push play, go to the end, and then I got a different sequence of flash of Michael, flash of Laurie. It was different from the first watch. The first watch cut out all of that. It was very strange, and I was very confused, and I still am, to be quite honest. I would really love to know from anyone who saw it at the theater, what is the actual ending? Because like I said, the way that I saw it, I was just waiting for the to be continued logo to scroll.
It happens really quickly where, I mean, Karen, she's upstairs in the Myers house looking out the window. She wants to see what Michael sees, and she sees herself.
Her.
And then he pops up behind her and kills her, and that's it. It just ends.
Okay,
That's it.
but then you see his reflection in the window, and then Lori. But then on another watch,
I don't remember that.
it was him flash to Lori, back to Michael in the window. I mean, every
So
time I
there was
rewound
a-
and forward,
I
it
said
was
I didn't
different.
remember that.
There would have been, if the original ending was there, and it will be on Blu-ray, it will soft dissolve to Lori in the room. Michael picks up Judy Gear's phone off the floor, and we get a repeat of the call between Linda and Lori from the first film. Right. So, and Lori hears the breathing, and she gives a short speech which ends with, "I'm coming for you, Michael," and the movie
Wait,
ends.
that's what you guys saw?
No, you're not listening. God damn it! So we need to be more hostile. That's what people wanted.
Wait. I thought you said. Okay, wait.
Everyone yell at her for a moment. That's what they want. Okay.
Okay, wait.
You're missing the point of the stream.
Pay attention, Meryl Streep.
No, I.
That's what I've been thinking
Or
the
else
whole
we'll
night.
put you
by the
out
way,
on
is
the
Meryl
boat
Streep.
with
There's
Christopher
an-
Walken. See how that goes.
So the original ending was a throwback to the scene where in the first movie where Michael breathes into the phone and Lori says, "I'm coming to get you, Michael." And then it ends with her walking out. Well, she picks up the knife and starts walking out. The theatrical
The
one.
original ending. Okay, I didn't hear Lauren say that. I'm
But
sorry.
that one was shot.
sorry.
That one will be on the Blu-ray. That one will show up on the Blu-ray. But they changed it because they want to do this jump forward in time kind of deal.
And because it's freaking ridiculous for her to be walking around with a reopened wound from a surgery.
Well,
That's what they thought was ridiculous. That's what they thought was ridiculous.
No, I don't think they did. I think they just were like, I think the ending scene was so well leaked out there, so many people knew it was there that it had lost its impact, and they just decided to go with the stabby ending. I think it's that simple, really, because it really doesn't affect anything. They can still do a time jump with her saying, "I'm coming to get you, Michael."
Yeah.
I mean, but I think I think this movie was well leaked around for a long time, and partially that's because people on the cast of the film didn't much like it, so material makes its way out.
Wow.
I think Karen got a raw deal if she is indeed dead, which it seems to
She's
me
dead.
she is. Yeah.
100% dead.
I didn't really, the writing wasn't strong enough to make me give a damn about Karen or Allison. I already didn't like Lori. I mean, I enjoyed Ray, but again, Toby Huss is just being Artie the strongest man in the world in 2018. That's why, I was like, cool, I'm down with this. But, it's like, Lori, you've gotten your granddaughter, you've gotten your daughter and your son-in-law killed. Your granddaughter is now responsible for taking care of you. And you just spent the last 40 years parentifying your own daughter because you had a bad night and got a little scratch on your arm from Mr. Michael Myers. You just wanted to go the fuck home. I'm sorry, I don't have any that's why I don't like this iteration of Lori, because she's not handling her trauma like she did in H2O and being upfront with it and having those conversations where it seems more genuine with her son. Like, she's functioning, but she's still also acknowledging that she's really messed up from all of this, and you can understand why because of all that history. But in this, it's like, it's 40 years of no contact between the two of them, and she's just passed that trauma on to her daughter, like, it's no big thing. I'm like, why am I supposed to root for you, Lori? What is it that you do here?
Lori's like that guy that still talks about the girl he took to the prom, like, incessantly.
Word.
Mhm.
Or the big football game that he won.
The big game, yeah. Al Bundy. She's like Al Bundy, for God's sake.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, like that was the defining moment, and then just tell the story over and over and over.
Yeah,
Well, folks,
never got it.
well, folks, let's call it a night here. I think we've thoroughly
We have come to the conclusion Halloween Kills is the Saint Anger of the Halloween movies.
we've dissected this movie every which way you can, and there's just nothing left. We've pulled out the guts. We've looked at every little piece, and
penis.
Can we make a pact that we never talk about this film ever again?
I really want to I don't want to talk about Halloween Kills for A long time. A long time. A long time.
Which will mean next year.
Yeah, when Ends come out.
Because everybody's going to watch Ends, and then we're going to all talk about it again.
Just stay this is the middle part of our trilogy of New Hollow, so we'll be back for Ends for
Everyone send good thoughts to the meteor on its path to Earth. Maybe we won't have to deal with that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's not
You
supposed
know
to
you
happen
wanna-
until December 2022.
you've got to
okay
see
with
it. Mike, you're watching Halloween Ends, right?
I'm in.
Okay,
Let's
in.
finish it.
All right. So, all right, cool. Well, let me do some shout outs here. We've had a very lively chat. We've had a lot of viewers watching pretty much all night. So thank you all for hanging out with us and shooting the bull. Let me give a shout out to our buddy Nico for the $10 super chat. That's very kind of you, sir. Thank you very much. Let's see who's still with us tonight. And you know what? I'm gonna give you guys watching a lot of credit. The chat has been mostly civil. I mean, there's been a couple of dickish things said, especially about pieces, which I don't appreciate at all. But the chat's been very civil tonight, so I certainly appreciate that. Let's see who's still with us here. Brian Trash, Darren Burrows, hey, there's Steak Sauce. What's up, man?
Shashi.
Entertainment Wizard, Dave Vanderhoff. What's up, man? Captain Halloween Keith. There's Nick, the Lost River Drive-In. How's it going, man? Joe Cool, MKF30. Orc is in the chat. What's up, Orc? How you doing, man? Thanks for becoming a patron.
Monstro.
There's Paul. There's Lisa Smith. There is Scott V. I know I saw DJ Donnelly here earlier. So DJ, what's up? Marbsy, what's up? Ben Grimm, how's it going? Robert Long, hello. I got a Raho was in the chat hanging out with us earlier. Of course, the great another OG Barry was in the chat hanging out with us too. So very cool. Thank y'all for hanging out tonight. It's been fun. Let me go around the horn here again. Sam, where can we find you on social media, and what is your home address?
I've
got a flaming bag of something for you.
You're gonna have
And
fun taking it far.
That something isn't what you think it is either.
No.
It's not fried chicken.
It's frying. Something's frying in there. I'm not going. It's a surprise though.
I'm hungry, I guess. Anyway, well, I'm mostly on Twitter, Chibi_GBs, and if I'm doing anything else, that's usually where I'm going to post about it. Also, I do troll, all in good fun, all for the lulz. You shouldn't take me too seriously. I do want to give a shout out to my friend Jesus Hernandez's upcoming independent horror film festival for little filmmakers here in Texas at terrorhigh.com. It's going to be, there's going to be a screening this Saturday, the 23rd, over at Rolling Oaks Mall for anybody in the San Antonio area. I do recommend checking out their website for additional updates, although the film festival itself should be streaming as well online. So, if you can make it out or want to check it out, go see terrorhigh.com and show a little love over there. It's their second annual one, which is really cool. So hopefully this just keeps picking up steam. Goes every year.
Very cool. Lauren, where can we find you online?
Visited by Voices 1 or on YouTube, and
I forgot.
Yeah, it's we're easily forgettable. Or just at Lauren Dixon on the Twitter. You can also visit with Amazon and put my name in a search browser, and things will come up that you can purchase. It's funny. 2 years for me talking about this movie. This was fun tonight. I never want to do it again.
It was very cathartic to get it all out there, right?
Yes.
And know that we're at the end of it.
Yes.
I mean, there's been nonstop questions about this movie and a lot of disbelief about some things, and it's just good that's all out there now. All the cards are on the table. It is what it is. We live with it for all time now.
And some of those things, if you put in Lauren's name into Amazon, you'll find something called Snarl. You'll find something called The Lifeless, and you'll find something called Eternal Unrest.
Yeah.
Man, that cover art is fantastic.
I know. I love the artwork for all of these. Just gorgeous artwork.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
didn't
Christian,
do
what?
I didn't do the art.
I love. I mean, the artwork's great.
Yeah, it is.
Christian, where can we find you on the social medias?
Christian Hanna Horror on YouTube. Twitter at what the fuck is my Twitter handle? Just type in CHH on Twitter and you'll find me. And Instagram, Christian Hanna Horror. I'm mostly active on Instagram, so that's where you can find me.
Susan, where can we find you? Or I'm sorry, Miss Strode, where can we find you on the social media?
YouTube.com/Horror Gal Susan. So Horror Gal on YouTube. I will be uploading a video about this, obviously, because I didn't take 7 pages of notes for nothing. So love it or hate it, I'm probably gonna put that up in the next couple of days. But Horror Gal Susan on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, all the platforms, mostly Instagram stories and things like that. So, but yeah, all the platforms, Horror Gal Susan.
Right on. Monty, where can we find you?
RMJ Movie Reviews at YouTube. YouTube is my main spot. I love YouTube.
Cool. Jamie, where can we find you?
You can find me here on YouTube. I just put up a review, my own review of Halloween Kills, if anybody's interested in seeing that. And I broke it up into chapters so you don't have to listen to me ramble on about crap. So go ahead and check that out. And also right after this at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be on with Steak Sauce, and we're going to be doing a live commentary of the Fright Night remake, which he's never seen before. So it's his first time. He's a firstie. He's losing his cherry to it.
Just be gentle with him. Just be gentle.
Yeah, I will. I'm very gentle.
Poor guy.
Stone, where can we find you, man?
Almost exclusively on Twitter at Stone Gasman, and also at my YouTube channel. I've been doing commentaries all year. I've been doing Chucky commentaries for every Saturday night this month, and this Saturday night I will be doing Kristen's favorite movie of the franchise, which is Seed of Chucky, along with Curse of Chucky. This Saturday night at 10 p.m. On Monday night, I will be doing a 50th anniversary audio commentary for Peter Bogdanovich's The Last Picture Show, starring Jeff Bridges and Sybil Shepherd and Ellen Burstyn. And then finally, at the end of the month, on the 31st of October, Halloween night, I will be doing a commentary for Mario Baba's A Bay of Blood, a.k.a. to the Death Nerve, at 10 p.m.
AKA Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yes. Yes. A landmark giallo, and I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Mike, where can we find you?
At B-Movie Mike on Twitter. I'm more of an observer than I'm a participant, but I'm available. I just don't, I prefer to let things happen naturally, organically. I enjoy observing other people's interactions on Twitter, more so than I like being involved. But you can get a hold of me there. And, of course, I'm on Region Free, and occasionally I do other things.
You're a sniper is what you are. There's a term. You're a sniper.
I've got a bunch. I got a bunch of stuff coming out. I've got more bad Michael Myers masks to unbox. Jesus God, I don't know what I was thinking
That was
there.
the best, Chris. That video was the best.
Oh my God, those things. I knew they were going to be bad. I had no idea they'd be that bad. Good God. My Dollar Tree Horror Movie Challenge review of the Trees Have Eyes will be out tomorrow. That just means I've got House Shark left, which something else to look forward to.
Sounds great.
Jesus. Yeah. And I got some more cool reviews coming out soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And yeah, so there you go. All right. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you all for being part of this this awesome show. I'm glad we did it. It wasn't as explosive as I thought it was going to be. That's, there was no blood. I think we're all still friends at the end of the day, which I wasn't sure if that was going to happen. We still are. So All right. Well, again, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you again very, very soon. And until then, have a great. Hope you're having a great Halloween season. And until next time, peace.
Evil died tonight.
Evil died.
Watch or be punished.
I was a mild-mannered